Hi, my name is Raf. I am playing Grinner, a barbarian human running from his past as an ex-soldier, now turned mercenary.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Luther. He's a Dampier. He is a fighter that specializes in firearms, a bit of an investigator, and I am the great uncle of Grinner.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm playing Tithla, the Goblin Ranger. She is a wonderful hunter and medical genius.
Hi, I'm Haz. I'm playing Theodore Ursa, the Satyr druid, who's a kind of a charismatic druid who's unwillingly taken Tithla under his wing as she's followed him through the forest for the past few months.
G'day, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonal, the Asimir wizard. He is on the pursuit of good and evil, finding out the best and worst in this world, and he's doing that with a little bit of naivety and optimism.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Curse of Strahd campaign. Hello!
Hello! Hello, everyone!
Hello! Welcome back to the Lost Archives, everybody. How you doing? It's lovely to have you all here. We're back playing Curse of Strahd tonight, which is the premier horror campaign for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Joining us again tonight from the Roll Together RPG stream is Josh!
Hi!
And there's a wee bit of latency just while he finds his mute button. How you doing? Welcome back.
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me back. Sleep? I did.
He's woken up bright and early.
Because it's like 10 o'clock in the morning here, so...
He's had a lovely sleep in. He's got an actual sword in his video background, I've just noticed, which is awesome. That's not Aragorn's sword from...
No, that's the Sword of Omens from Thundercats.
Oh, amazing. Oh my god, amazing. That's fantastic. No, that's awesome. I'm a huge fan of that. Now, obviously, for those of you who joined us last week, you will know that Josh is a DM and player at various times for the Roll Together RPG, as well as host of various podcasts and talk shows. The chat episode, which we recorded over a week ago, now came out this Friday. It was out on the Roll Together RPG. The link will be in the description. I'll also quickly chuck it into chat as well to make sure that those of you who are watching live can go check it out. Make sure you head over to twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg and go watch that. We had a lovely sit down, rolled some dice to determine questions, and had a really cool chill out. It was really fun. I had a lovely time. So make sure you go and check. It was very chill. It was very chill. More chill than oh god, I've just seen like my face, and I don't like my face very much.
That's fair.
Just in general. Like just in general. I'm just not a huge fan. But yeah, you can go check that out on Talk Together, which is the...
Surprised to hear a compliment from Jacob. That's shocking.
He did turn his camera off though, so that we knew that he didn't actually mean it, so that it was just the audio, not like his face.
Because I can't stop laughing, I had to mute myself. So
like he can claim down the line that was like some AI voice thing that I programmed to say it for him, and exactly. he's just future proofing himself. So yeah, please make sure you go and check out that episode of Talk Together over at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. We had a lot of fun. Raph, that is a massive fucking stein you're drinking from. I just okay. Very distracting. And yeah, make sure you go and check it out. We had a great time, and it's so cool having Josh come and rejoin us again as guest character Killian for our Curse of Strahd. Rejoining us, who was absent for the previous session, Haz is back fresh and tanned from his time in Egypt. Very faintly.
Thank you.
Had a lovely time over in Egypt, I hear.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely great. Sorry, I was distracted by my absolute noob move in the Twitch chat, trying to do my little Theodore emoji and failing miserably.
You manually typed it. That's an interesting call.
I did that.
Some friendly character there helped you out though.
Yeah, luckily.
Oh no, Egypt was absolutely unreal. Saw mummies, crawled in a tomb, felt like Indiana Jones.
Fantastic. And did you steal anything for the
Sahara?
Oh, that is really cool. I was going to say, did you steal anything for the British Museum? Because that's always a classic move for white people in Egypt. Just take things and then claim that it's archaeology.
I gave them a call, see if they needed anything else. Apparently they were chockers already. So
Chockers already. They've already stolen every cultural artifact. Yeah.
With expatriated artifacts from around the world.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I mean, there's only so many items you can put on display. The rest you keep in storage in a massive cellar that no one can ever see, hear, or interact with, despite the cultural significance that may be attributed to it. And
just so long as you got them, doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the important part.
Is the British Museum run by a dragon? It sounds like it's run by a dragon.
That would be a fun one shot.
Yeah, the dragon called the Monarchy. Maybe you've heard of
that. Is that what it is for so long to die?
Oh man,
Josh, you want to chip in? Or
yeah, I feel like you're probably
as a Brit, I can agree.
Fantastic. I'd never considered that, but actually, maybe all museums are secretly run by dragons. It would make a lot of sense. Technically, I guess the Vatican archives must be as well, because they host host a lot of items from around the world as well. Not to mention the several crusades that were launched against the Middle East to locate said gold and keep it nice and safe away from those who actually owned it. Got to keep it safe in the Maybe it is.
Gold is for hoarding. Like, that's a fact.
Maybe it is a dragon that.
You're thinking of wealth there, Has.
that could be distributed a little more evenly. Gold, you can hoard that.
Oh my goodness! Before we get too political and and Boris Johnson comes and shuts down our stream, let us do a lovely recap to get back into the zone of things. We had a very, very awesome session last week, and I'm keen to keep the fun rolling. Now, Has obviously missed out on last session as he was away. I'm going to do a recap to get him back into the zone, and we're going to jump in with Theo's character first initially, because the rest of you guys headed down into the crypt below the Church of St. Andrew, while Theo went to go wake up Father Lucien Petrovich. So we're going to jump in with Theo first once we've done that. You really haven't got the hang of these emojis, have you?
That one was intentional.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Alrighty, let me do a quick recap, and we will jump straight back into the session. The newest team of the Tempest Adventuring Guild have found themselves lost in the dangerous realm of Barovia. Trapped by strange magics, the group have now travelled westward, away from the sinister castle which reportedly houses the immortal ruler of these lands. The group have been exploring the town of Vallaki, drawn into the local politics in a big way since their arrival. Having now left the Wachter house almost annihilated, with only 2 surviving members, the team have turned their attention to Baron Vargas Valakovich, mayor of the town. After Jonor and Theo met with the Baron's son Victor in the town square, they followed him back into his secret study in the attic, under the guise of helping him fix a faulty teleportation circle. They quickly discovered Victor had been learning magic from a dark book, one which presented complex magic he couldn't control, leading directly to the death of a maid and chimney sweep, and also causing the madness currently afflicting Stella Wachter. After confiscating the books, the team headed back to the Church of St. Andrel for a rest, but found themselves bumping into another adventurer, Killian. While talking through their experiences, the team heard a disturbance from the crypt below the church. Heading down, they found a beautiful vampire mage attempting to summon spirits. A surprise attack from Grinner caused the spell to go wild though, which resulted in the spirits attacking everyone within the crypt. After a brutal and very, very rough fight, the vampire tried to flee, however could not get far enough away from the twin Eldritch Blast beams unleashed as a result of Killian's attacks. And we left off last session as the vampire mage, running down the hallway attempting to get back up through the crypt entrance, takes 2 Eldritch Blasts to the back, and you watch as she just drops, slamming face first into the stone, the body sliding for about a meter just from the sheer velocity at which she was moving. And that is where we left off last session. We're going to jump over to Theo. Theo, from your perspective, this is what you missed last session. As you guys arrived back at the Church of St. Andrel, you bumped into a strange figure, one you didn't recognize. And this is a perfect opportunity to get Josh to quickly describe his character again for the podcast listeners who might have forgotten. Sorry to put you on the spot there, Josh.
So, Killian is a half-elf with relatively nice kept hair, grey patches all over the place, nice beard, plenty of scars all over the place. He's missing his left hand, and his left arm is completely exposed, no armour or anything on it. And it's got loads of scars all down it, some of them fresh, some of them not. Carries a rather large jug on one of his hips and a sword on the other hip, and is wearing very basic breastplate, armor, and leather trousers.
So when you arrived back at the church, Killian was there waiting for you. It seemed he was looking for someone who matched Grinner's description. However, once Grinner stepped into the church, it was clear that Grinner was not the person Killian was looking for. During your conversations with Killian, you learned that he had come to Barovia some time previously with a group of adventurers, but over time, some have fallen, some have become lost, and Killian is now alone, still searching for his adventuring party, still trying to find the comrades he entered the mists with. And one of them, a scarred human, kind of matched Grinner's description on a very surface level. After it became apparent that Grinner was not the person he was looking for, Killian was a little bit sort of, I'd say, confused as to where to sort of head next. It sounded like Killian wasn't really sure how much he could trust the party, more sort of wanting to offer words of advice, and I can see you shaking your head being like, don't trust us at all. Yeah. Wanting to kind of offer words of advice that he would have appreciated when he first came through into the mists, but again, still not sure how much he can trust you. And how much of the corruption of these lands might have set in already. When it became clear that you guys were very fresh to this realm and hadn't had much of a chance to experience many of the horrors and dangers, Killian sort of seemed to trust you guys a little bit more. There was a bit less of that distance there. The conversation was interrupted though when the sounds of almost like chanting and banging could be heard underneath the crypt. While the rest of the party rushed off, Theo, you ran in to go and fetch Father Lucian Petrovich, knowing that the bones of St. Undril, the bones of that saint that you had gone to such efforts to recover, including murdering almost an entire family of people to recover.
That was Raspid.
That was Raspid, that's true. To be fair, that wasn't any of you, that was a guest character.
It was Raspid and the stairs. We didn't actually kill anyone.
Is that a suicide then, if he just held himself down?
Not a suicide,
no.
That's an unhappy accident.
It was an accident. Yeah, it's an accident. Misadventure, I think, would be the official term. Knowing that the bones, like the last you saw of them, you'd handed over to Lucian, to the priest, to Father Petrovich. I think in that moment, Theo was kind of worried, oh fuck, like what's happening down the crypt? Where are the bones? Has he put them down there? Like, what are we going to be heading into? Theo, as you rush into Father Lucian's room and try to shake him awake, he takes a while to wake up. When he finally does, sort of blinking, bleary-eyed, you can see that he is looking a bit odd. There's like a very... Because your passive perception, I think, is like 14 or 13, I think, remember, isn't it?
No, it's 16.
16. Yeah, he is pale, looking almost like he is malnourished or a bit underfed, or maybe a bit iron deficient as well. Like looking very, very pale.
I was going to roll a medicine check. I'm like, okay, that checks.
You can definitely please feel free to roll a medicine check.
It didn't come. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Natural 1.
I have no idea what this could possibly be.
Total of 4. Dude needs to eat more spinach or something. Like probably like
you then.
I'd say at this point you're like, oh, he's been partaking of that communion wine a bit too much. It's probably leaching his liver's ability to filter his own blood. He's looking a bit. He needs to really lay off the communion wine. And as you sort of shake him awake, and he comes to, a bit confused and a bit dazed. Yes, Theo. What are you doing in my room?
Father, I came to check on the bones. We hear some unholy chanting coming from the crypt. I would just want to make sure that you were able to successfully reinstate them into the church to give the town its protections.
From the crypt? Oh, no, nothing to worry about, my boy. I haven't had a chance to put the bones back on display yet. They're in a silver box underneath.
And then you watch this, so he slumps down and almost falls semi-asleep again.
Can I give him some little slap to try and wake him up and get that last bit out of him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Theo, my boy, what are you doing in my room?
Father, the lockbox is the bones. Where is it?
Oh, it's underneath the altar in a special hidden compartment.
Does that sound like the place we found them the first time?
No. That's the crypt that's hidden below the church. You've never heard of any secret compartment under the altar, probably because it is secret. Checks out.
I would like to slap a little healing word into this guy on my way out. Just make sure he doesn't die from anemia while I'm gone.
As you slap a healing word into him, which again does not require touch, we've discussed healing word being a healing word. As you slap a healing word into him, a little bit of color comes back into his cheeks and his eyes, that sort of glazed over, glassy look. A bit of his normal shrewdness kind of comes back in, and he shakes his head a little bit, wipes his eyes, goes, feels at his neck for some reason, and sort of like holds his hand there for a minute, as if like rubbing something sore before taking his hand away.
Oh, you said something about chanting below the church, the crypt.
Yes, this is what we heard. We found a somewhat scarred man hanging outside the front. He seems quite nice.
Oh, Killian, yes, no, he's lovely. I met him before. He seemed like a nice young lad. I offered him some food, and he said he was looking for someone who matched your friend Grinner's description. So I set him up, and looked like he needed someplace warm and out of the rain to wait for you.
Good, yes. So we talked to him, and as we were chatting, we started hearing some chanting from the crypt.
Oh, not good. Not good at all. You better go and check on that. I'll go check on the bones underneath the altar.
All right. Do you need help putting them in their proper place?
I'll keep them.
It could have been your priority. I'm not going to lie. We went through a lot of effort to get those back for you.
That's why. But they were stolen from the crypt until I could confirm that the crypt had new security in place to keep it safe. I wanted to replace some of the bars with silver and put some more protective wards up. I couldn't put them anywhere that was known that they might be housed. I had to keep them safe.
It's fair enough, actually. All right, well, I'll head down to...
It's very unusual for this group to admit fault or being mistaken, so character growth.
Right,
brilliant.
Well, then, at that, I send him off to the altar to check on the bones. I started heading towards the crypt, but I hang around long enough just to get a visual confirmation from him that the bones are in fact still there.
Yeah, perfect. So it probably takes him a good minute to get up, walk on over to the altar, check underneath, open up the lockbox, and then give you a thumbs up from the head of the altar before you then duck down the grate that leads into the crypt below. Theo, as you climb down the ladder, you hear the sound of running feet coming towards you, and this coming from the darkness. As you spin around, these twin blasts of... what color is your Eldritch Blast, Killian? I think you said it was like a dark blood red, didn't you?
It's blood, so yeah, it'd be very dark red.
Yeah, these twin beams of dark red, almost and very slightly illuminating, blast down the corridor from the crypt in front of you, and as they hit the back of this figure running towards you, you see what can only be described as a woman, but her face contorted, her jaw almost it looks like it's been disconnected. It's been what's what I'm looking for when you disengage.
Dislocated.
Thank you, dislocated. I almost got there. Her jaw dislocated, massive fangs emerging from her upper and lower jaw, bright red eyes, and as she reaches out towards you, these long clawed fingernails almost about to grab at your face. These two impacts smash into the back of her. She drops and slides on the floor right between your legs and smacks into the wall just behind you into the ladder, the body limp and crumpled. As you look down the corridor kind of in surprise, you just see Killian there, hands still out from having sent these blasts down the corridor. And that is how we bring you guys all back together.
Oh.
Perfect timing.
Good shot.
We got a runner.
We had a runner, that is the correct phrase.
Yeah, firmly past tense there.
Grinner's probably just in the corner touching the bite marks, trying to work out if he's still bleeding or what the damage is there.
Yeah, I think you got bitten twice, didn't you, Grinner?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, there's two. That's right. Once on the side, once just right on the back of your neck. That's right. I mean, you are still bleeding. Not enough that it's going to do bleeding damage or anything like that because you haven't sustained any injuries. But I mean, for the purposes of the narrative, yeah, as you touched your neck, these are open, jagged wounds. The bite is almost similar to a wolf bite in a way, Grinner, or a dog bite, where it's bitten in and there's been a bit of a ripping motion, not enough to tear the flesh completely out, but it's a brutal bite. And as you feel around, these are actively bleeding wounds. This is definitely not good as you feel around at the edges. There's also, I will say, Grinner, a weird kind of tingling coming from both bite marks, almost a feeling of numbness and cold around the wound.
Would there be anything that Grinner would know? I know I've made checks with regards to vampires in the past, but would I know anything about how vampirism is transferred?
I was going to ask the roll for vampirism.
Roll for vamp.
Check, please.
Yeah, do you want to make me I would say a nature or arcana check? Your choice, Grinner. Anyone who wants to make that check as well, you're welcome to.
Would I?
Luther has
just know?
advantage. Yeah, I'd say Luther has
I have
advantage
advantage.
because you're not like a practicing vampire, Luther. So your
That's a good
knowledge is
so
not
it's a
as-
religion.
Wow, that's
What's the rolls, by the way?
nature or arcana, your choice. Grinner, that's a
Negative
4. Yeah, that's an 8. You just Grinner, as you think over it, you're like, nah, pretty sure that vampires have to like shove a garlic steak up your butt or something to make you a vampire, something like that.
It's a suppository, I know that.
Yeah. That's right. Theo 8. Yeah, you know something to do with like definitely biting's involved, but you don't know much more than that.
Is Grinner looking the most beat up?
Yeah, by far, I'd say. Oh, actually, Tithler's probably a close run.
Tithler sorted herself out a little bit.
Oh, Tithler did. That's right. Yeah, Tithler did.
Well, then I'll slap a healing word into Grinner as well.
Oh,
I mean, I have to keep mentioning it because I'm contract
Cheers,
bound, but
mate.
you do realize it's a verbal spell only. No
Theo,
somatic component
you don't have
required.
to hurt him at the same time. Yeah, I can also hit him and help him if you would like, Grinner.
There you go.
I do love the idea of like every time you cast healing word, like you just grab someone's face and then cast healing word. Yeah, I do quite like that. 7 hit points.
Is Grinner still was Grinner still bleeding up until this
And
point?
another
then?
7
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I'll do Luther
I
and
have
Killian's
some-
checks as well. Luther
So the checks.
13. Yeah.
I will say real quick. I had the whole thing before we came down here. So seeing gushing blood from Grinner's neck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably start hiding myself at the back, trying to like stay away from. I was actually gonna rush and try and help him.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm actually trying to restrain myself from doing exactly what just happened.
Yeah. I would say with your passive perception of 16, Theodore, you notice very clearly Luther is definitely like a bit paler than normal. He's looking a bit kind of like shaky, almost as if he's just run a great distance or exerted himself. And as you guys could sort of rush in and he sees Grinner bleeding, he actually moves himself away, like looking
Barely
over
we did
the
have a
spirits.
combat, but-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Bearing in mind that there was just combat. And you can see that there are still where the spirits had been visible, they've left behind these almost like tendrils of cold condensation rising from the floor. And in them, you think you can see what look to be items. So as Luther heads off, kind of picks through them, I'd say that's a good excuse to go and have a look and kicks through the wisps that are left behind. Luther, with a 13, you remember when you were turned. A feeling of cold, a feeling of darkness, and a sensation of disconnect. There was a moment where you felt like you were dying or dead. You feel like that is important in turning someone into a vampire, but the specifics of which you're not 100% sure. Killian, 21. You've been in Barovia for a number of months. You know exactly what it takes to turn a person into a vampire. If a vampire bites a creature, a person or a humanoid, and manages to reduce them down to 0, manages to knock them to 0, manages to kill them with this, they will rise the next night as a vampire spawn. To then be turned into a vampire, that vampire spawn must be fed the blood of the vampire that turned them.
I'll go over to Grinner. Just kneel down. Are you okay?
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, these two sorted out most of it, but is that still bleeding? I can't see round here. Is that still... What's going on?
You've got little drops of blood. Do not worry, you will not become one of those creatures unless you die within the next day or so. And
Well, there's no garlic here anyway, or steak, so I think I think I'll be all right.
What about a garlic steak?
Well, I mean, that might... I don't know. Would that do it? I don't think I'll be able...
that'd be yummy.
Let's keep the discussions. I haven't had dinner yet. I'm starving. Please don't let's mention garlic steaks. That's so good. Struggle
You can have
here.
a nice little garden salad with it. Maybe some chips.
Oh, you can
But
keep
I don't
mentioning
know.
garden salad. That's doing nothing for me.
Steak,
I don't know if I'm going to be
beautiful
able...
thick
Oh, no,
gravy.
that's good.
Tifler, I don't think I'll be able to squeeze out my arse though. Anyway,
Oh, that's a good point. No, you're right.
well, yeah, because
You do have
that's
to
how
do
it
what's going
happens,
on,
isn't
though.
it? You got to stick the garlic steak up your asshole.
Well, I don't know, but if you're saying so, then I would trust you. I mean,
What the fuck?
you seem like you would know these things.
Well, that's what I've heard, and you
Straight to
know,
garlic enema. That's
it-
a grim start for the session.
I wonder if that counts as a demonetization from YouTube.
You can just cut this out.
just tag it as ultimate medicine, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah,
No, yeah.
God damn.
it's reverse aromatherapy.
It's internal aromatherapy.
Yeah. Look, I'm sure Gwyneth Paltrow will be doing it in a year or two. Oh man. Yeah, Killian, you've never heard such bullshit in your life. Like, is probably at this point you're like, oh yeah, maybe there are some similarities between this human and the human you had to deal with.
I do have a bit of a grin on my face, although I tried to hide it from the interaction between Grinner and Tifler because it reminds me of previous party banter that I've had.
As you guys,
I just don't know what else you could have for dinner. We've already had dinner.
Well, I don't,
While they're doing that, can I head over to Luther and see how he's doing? Because if I've noticed he's pale, I noticed the priest was pale and was bitten.
yeah. As you head on over to Luther, you see Luther's picking through, just sort of kicking these like wisps of condensation and almost like frost that are melting away and disappearing into nothingness. Luther, do you want to roll me an investigation check just to see what you find in these lovely little piles of goodness? 21. Luther, as you pick through them, it's this weird sensation. As you reach into them, there's a insubstantial nature to them. There's almost like they feel like they're not really there at all, but there's a very slight resistance. As you reach in and sort of like try and grab these shadowy forms of what look to be either coins or some sort of dagger, as you grasp them and then remove them, for a moment they're just as insubstantial as the wisps themselves before suddenly they solidify. You pull out what looks to be a very old, worn iron dagger marked with these runic symbols. And yeah, very worn, pitted blade. Almost imagine like a Damascus steel, that beautiful folded, wavy lines through the metal, but partially eroded and etched as if one of the metals was like highly corrosive and has been eaten away and pitted. There's also a coin pouch filled with There's also a coin pouch filled with some very old-looking currency that you don't recognize. That looks like nothing you've ever seen before. Like judging by the metals that make up the coins, you get the sense that it's probably about like 38 gold pieces and about 51 silver pieces. 38 gold, 51 silver.
Cool.
Fairly specific.
Saw
Enjoy.
like the being or like the soul of people being pulled out as the ghosts attack people. Can I go inspect other remains for any remnants of that?
Yeah, as you have a bit of a pick around the remains, Jonah, do you want to roll me an investigation check?
Absolutely.
Or Arcana, if you're sort of asking questions. I think it's the same plus for you anyway.
Yeah.
+7? Yeah. As you begin looking over the wisps, no signs of whatever that effect was, where they were pulling life force away. Whatever that is seems to have vanished the second they did. Now that those ghosts, those specters are gone, whatever energy they pulled from their victims has also disappeared. No remnants or no echoes of that remain.
For sure.
Do we know what these the vampire thing and the ghosts were trying to accomplish down here? Did you work out what the ritual was for?
So, we think they were trying to summon some undead down the crypts. we were able to stop them, and I also show him some of the loot I have, and this is what I found. So by all means, add this please to the bag, and I give him the 38 GP to add to the total.
In my bag?
Yeah, I think we keep most of our loot sort of in the same area. So I'll
you
give
have
that
the
loot.
bag of
I
holding.
did. We got a bag of holding?
Oh no.
I thought we had a bag.
Do you?
I don't have a bag.
Oh, no, I thought. Oh, my bad. I thought we did.
But I mean, I don't recall a bag of holding.
If it's not in your inventories, you do not have it.
That's all right. I
was holding most of the gold for a while because I had all the.
So that's probably where I got confused.
That's our nickname for you, Theo. You're the bag of
The
holding.
bag of holding.
You're the goat of holding. You just.
The goat of holding will continue in his current capacity.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
Oh, if you got most of the gold, I'll give the gold.
To distribute gold as I see fit.
Looking at all the different locations the ghosts are being summoned from, can I look at which crypts or which graves or which sites ghosts were being summoned out of? Were they regular peasants? Were they the saints? That sort of stuff.
That is a great question, Jonor. As you begin looking around, I mean, you were standing right there in the entrance to the crypt when you saw some of these specters emerge. As you head on over to... Did you want to have a look at the east or west? Because it seems like there were two main areas they emerged from.
I'll just go to the closest one, west.
West, perfect. As you head on over to the western wall and begin examining the crypts, you can see very clearly there are sigils that have been marked on some of the sarcophagi, some of the wall-mounted coffins. These are recent, having been drawn in what looks to be some form of chalk. The sigils to you would be quite unfamiliar. I don't think you have any necromancy spells prepared?
No, I don't think so.
No. As you have a look over these, and it's definitely not an area you've spent a lot of time studying. As you have a look over these symbols seem unfamiliar, but definitely looking through them at the way these arcane sigils are prepared and written, definitely you're getting a bit of a necromancy vibe from this, from whatever this spell was. Which, I mean, you saw the spell activate and literally call spirits of the dead. I'd say at this point, Jonor, as a wizard, you know what's going on here. The sarcophagi themselves that have the sigils on them, they do indeed seem to have a bit of a common theme. At first, as you look over the three that are on the western wall, you don't really find too many common threads. But a closer look at the sarcophagi around them quickly reveals that these were all members of the same family.
Very intriguing. And what is that family name?
The Vlakovich family.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Hey guys, I'm just sort of putting a couple of things together. Can we see this name here, this name here, this name here?
I'm just not sure the stake up the butt is gonna work. I don't think. Oh, sorry, were you saying something?
Yeah. Look.
Never am I going to regret a moment of improvisation more.
Yeah. Look, I'm seeing a lot of Vlakovich around here where this summoning was going on, and I point out these to the rest of the party.
That makes a lot of sense to what she told us about wanting to disrupt the next festival that is happening. This Lord Vakulich, however you say the name, he's the one that's throwing it, no?
Yeah, hold on. That's the mayor's last name, isn't it?
What? Wasn't she saying that she was working for, the big guy?
Jesus?
Yeah, the one you're not meant to say the name of.
Yeah, the S word.
I keep forgetting I'm not meant to say his name.
Well, I mean, let's
be named.
Before we go too much further, one person, Rictavio, the half-elf bard, has warned you, like, I'd be careful throwing his name around.
Yeah, but he had a cool wolf, so...
He did have a cool wolf, so...
I think we can pretty much just trust everything that he says.
He's a Bible.
Yeah.
Every word.
But you mean he's full of historical inaccuracies, like gross violations of human rights, and makes no sense out of context. Evil in context.
Evil and perfect.
And I believe every single word.
That's a real problem. Carry on.
Which version?
Doesn't matter.
Okay,
Oh shit.
Well, I mean, makes sense that she was working for him, given her bitey teeth.
Well, she said that she'd fallen out of his favour, did she? She mentioned something about wanting to get back into his good books with this thing. So I think she did this on her own, trying to get him to like her again or some shit. But well, we can't really ask her anymore, can we?
She's coming off a little bit desperate, really.
Yeah, I don't have any way to speak to the dead, so that's no good. I then flip open my book and start.
I mean, we have those new books.
Yeah.
Jonah, are you opening up the Book of Black Magic? Is the question.
Yes, that's what I said. Is I grabbed it with my hand.
Outstanding.
Wait, that thing was cursed. I forgot about that.
Flurry of excitement.
Outstanding. I would really love a wisdom saving throw from you, please,
I love
Jonah.
that so
Absolutely.
much.
I'd really love that. Just a little wisdom save.
17
17.
is all good.
Jonah, as you flip through this book again, you feel that moment that you felt the first time opening this book. That sudden.
It was Theodore.
It was Theo. Sorry, you haven't opened it yet. Jonah, as you open this book, there's a sudden feeling of elation. This book contains spells you've never even heard of, let alone spells that you have heard of. As you begin flipping through the pages, the gory imagery and dark undertones of the text kind of just go over your head. You're lost in this moment of scholarly wonder. The researcher and academic inside of you just completely enraptured by the knowledge contained in this book. And as you flick through, indeed you do find a spell towards the back, as the spells are organized alphabetically, a spell called Speak with Dead.
Oh, yes. So Jonah just whispers under his breath, "Oh my God, what is in this book?" And then speaks up a bit louder. "Oh yeah, we do have something more towards the back here. So if we do want to, this could be a thing."
What do you mean? What could be a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've the book right here is Speak with Dead. So if we do want to spend the time, I could possibly spend the bit of effort to cast this, perhaps.
To chat with the ghost that she was bringing back to life?
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a stretch.
Probably her.
Oh, you can do that.
Yeah.
Is she dead? Dead though? These people don't really tend to die that easily, do they?
Ooh, do we know if a vampire died?
Well, if she was dead, was she undead? Is undead dead? And then if you died while undead, are you dead? Or are you undead dead? Or are you dead?
So technically, weren't we all speaking with dead just before?
Well, we were speaking with
undead. It's actually very
undead.
profound there, Grinner. You might have just broken open something right here in the academic world.
Well, I don't know about that. Tiffler, can I borrow your knife, love?
What for?
Well,
okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Hands it up to you.
I'm going to go over to Vampire Lady, roll her onto her back, and...
As you head over to the corpse, Grinner, there's nothing left but a few scraps of cloth and what looks to be almost like an ash left on the ground. Very fine, not enough to account for the full body.
What the fuck's happened here? Hey, you lot. What the fuck's this?
Who are you speaking to?
Oh, fuck.
Are you speaking to the dead?
Yeah, well, look, I don't know. You talking back. You smell like you might be dead, Tiffler, but I don't think that counts.
That hurts.
Yeah,
I thought we'd made a lot of progress in our relationship.
Look, you know what? Maybe a little bit. Maybe that was a bit too far. But
I made you admit we made progress. No, I don't know what it is.
All right.
Some kind of vampire. I mean, she might have been very old. Maybe her body decayed.
I'm going to start sifting through the ash. Is there anything in there?
As you begin sifting through, there's really not a lot here. It seems like whatever effect caused this body to rapidly break apart took most of the equipment with it. Do you want to roll me an investigation check?
Sure. I can do that. Also a -1. Oh, fuck yeah.
2. As you look through, there's not really much going on here. You're not sure what's the story.
All right.
Can I roll like a history or nature or something for creatures that explode on dying? Like, does that sound like a category of death? I'm going
to say, Jonah, as you go to do this, with your previous Arcana check, Killian, you know a little bit about vampires and vampire spawn and what happens when they are killed. In your experience, probably at this stage you've not killed any full-fledged vampires, but I'd say that it'd be unlikely you haven't had a chance to kill some vampire spawn at some time or another, while in Barovia. You know that when a vampire spawn has been killed, the body very quickly decays into ash.
Did you say that it is just ash?
Yeah, there's nothing but ash here. That's a bit unusual.
It definitely feels like ash.
Which is a thing with vampire spawns. When they are killed, their bodies rapidly decay and they turn into what you see here. So we at least know that she was not a more powerful vampire.
I'm sorry. Maybe this is a dumb question. What is the difference between a vampire and a vampire spawn?
A vampire spawn is like a baby, like a newly born, like a underling or a grunt, cannon fodder, army filler. Those sorts of things. And
like Grinner.
Well, that
was for the smelly comment.
Well, right. I'll let it off.
I know I make a joke, but thank you. That was actually very informative.
Well,
Killian, you would know that vampire spawn are like a lesser vampire. A vampire that isn't fully formed, isn't fully powered up. It's almost, as you say, like a grunt that is created by vampires and as a servant. A soldier, a servant that is 100% obedient to the vampire that created them.
Then it's basically a thrall to its sire. It has not unlocked its final form yet, as it were.
If it was fully enthralled, this thing seems to be acting with a bit of free will, so perhaps it was more powerful than a simple spawn.
Possibly, yes.
Died pretty easy though, didn't it?
Well, I mean, you're bleeding from your neck. Tithla looks as dead as she usually does, and Luther's over there looking more pale than I've ever seen him. I assume he had his blood drained.
I'm all good. I'm just taking a breather as I'm basically just sort of hiding in the corner, trying my best to stay away from Grinner.
If you were bitten by the vampire, I can heal you. I could slap you with one of my magic words.
No. I just I took a bit of damage from those ghosts. I didn't get bitten.
Oh, let me come have a look. I might be able to help you.
No. It's all fine, Grinner. You've taken 2 wounds to the neck. You need to rest.
If you both come together, I'll be able to help look after both of you at the same time.
For those of you who've heard the story about Wrath burning through 3-player characters in 3 sessions, now you see how such a thing might have occurred at a previous table game.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Theodore, you said that you can slap him with your words?
Yes, I have magic slapping words.
Is that I used to be able to perform the healing word spell myself, and it does not require slapping.
You did not use a somatic component?
No, I just used the verbal component.
How very unusual.
Hang on, are you saying you go on? Sorry.
I was just going to say you can slap them with cure wounds.
Which I do
That's
actually.
What I did just before.
Incidentally, I do also have that prepared.
I do have the irony of being like, well, why would I slap their wounds? That will just make their wounds worse. That's a terrible way to cure wounds. What kind of?
If you deliver the healing with a slap, does that do a better job? As I'm saying that, I walk up to the back of Grinner and give him a big slap with my my feature. What is it called?
Using the telekinetic mage hand.
He's using the healing hands ability.
Yeah, look, I wish I could deliver it that way, but I don't think I can.
No. 9 hit points,
slap
Greta.
that on his back.
Not bad.
Oh, right between the shoulder blades. Oh, fuck off. Oh,
There's a
thanks.
moment of pain, Grinner, and then suddenly with a crack, your shoulder like drops back into position. It feels a lot better.
Oh, well, that's been out of place for at least a decade. Thanks, mate.
Maybe I should slap it.
See, it's very effective.
I don't think that's how it works. But
There's the sound of footsteps climbing down the ladder, and a moment later you see Father Lucian Petrovich enter the room as he looks around and then looks down at his feet and like kicks a bit of dust off them, not realizing what he's walked through.
Oh, how did you go? Did you find what was down here?
You just walked through her.
What?
Yeah, right,
Standing on her father.
Oh!
He begins like looking down,
Wait,
like moving his feet.
Her
He's like,
dad was here too.
No,
How
it
else
was
would
a
she be
comment.
standing on her father?
Tifla, that's what people call priests. They call them father.
No, that's
Yes.
dad there. Come on.
It's regular dad. That's Daddy Petrovich.
I mean,
That's
I was
gotta be
hoping
weird.
we could have perhaps found out what they were doing here, but I guess if you needed to turn this person into a small pile of ash.
Well, she herself, to be honest.
Oh my, she was an undead.
and he whispers the word as if scared to say it out loud.
She,
Well,
she
is
did.
now.
She is now, yes, and she did sort of give a monologue before we fought her, as evil ones normally do.
Ah, yes.
Wait,
Yes.
they do
It's
that?
almost like some force
Sometimes.
that needs to justify its actions, kind of drives some common force that just wants to talk and hear its own voice a bit. It's bizarre.
I feel like every time I've nearly died, it was more of an instantaneous thing and sort of out of nowhere.
You was the one doing the talking in most of those instances.
Ah, I don't count that as talking.
What? Screaming? It kind of counts.
Huh. I guess to other people that is talking.
During this monologue, did this creature reveal what its goals were?
It wanted to raise some of the spirits from the crypts and wanted to disrupt the festival that is taking place soon. Judging by what our friend over here has discovered, I will let them explain.
Yeah, well, it
towards
seems-
Jonah.
It seems to be a selection of the Velakovich family have been possibly summoned around here. So, seems to be some sort of raising that family from the dead, and all in the aim of getting favor of the big boss in town, in Big Barovia.
Oh, when you said big boss in town, I thought maybe the person thought that they were raising the spirits for Vargas Velakovich? But no, that makes
No,
more
big-
sense.
Big
Well,
Barovia.
This is serious. You were able to stop them and destroy the spirits. Well done, all of you. That was no easy feature. Please come upstairs and rest. I think it is late enough now that I think you are well overdue a rest, and hopefully we can let the cold and dark night pass by and hopefully have some warm sunlight in the morning, which to see this with fresh eyes.
Well, can I make just a small suggestion? I don't know what powers you have when the sun's not doing its sunshiny thing, but look, this place is all a little bit fucky down here. Do you reckon you could just put a few blessings around to stop Dusty Girl from getting back up, or from anybody else to start walking around?
Yes, I was already planning to replace the wards that keep this place safe. They were all broken when the bones of St. Andrew were stolen, and as I have not yet reinterred them below the church, I have not yet had a chance to fully reinstate the blessings that keep this place safe from undead. It's bizarre. How would this creature know that there was a weakness so quickly? It's concerning. Well, there's no sense worrying about this tonight. I think let's head to bed, have a good night's sleep, and see what I can do in the morning.
Truthfully, Father, the way you said that kind of ominously makes me think that perhaps we do have time to worry about it tonight.
Yeah, I kind of think that now's the exact time to worry about it, since there is no defense.
I mean, not to put it lightly, but in the words that I've heard you use, Jono, I'm kind of tapped. I feel very weak.
I will just give her the full cure wounds right into him.
I love how you don't use it on any of your friends. The person who's had their throat almost torn out twice. It's like old man who you've interacted with for like 2 days. Yeah, he can have it. 7 hit points. As you do, you watch as he kind of like stretches and that does feel better.
Get blessing.
Yes, I will. If you head up, I'll finish. I'll cast Sanctuary on this place and.
How long does that take? Do you need some of us to hang out? We can
Oh
hang out.
no, I'll be fine. You lot go and rest. I can do this. I'll cast a ritual sanctify to make this place safe again.
Sound like famous last words, but up we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to stay down here because I don't give a shit what you say, Father. That's a terrible idea to be down here on your own. I'll just keep you company. I'll stay here in the corner. I won't chat. Don't worry about it.
Tithla's gonna stay with her best friend Grinner.
Wait.
Bed sounds
The
pretty
second
good, so
best
I
friend.
might head upstairs.
I'll stay with the father as well.
I was
don't
going
need
to stay with
sleep
the
as
father.
long.
Everyone's Tithla's best friend. Tithla's gonna also collect the arrows that are scattered around the room.
Yeah, easy. Alrighty. Those of you who are staying down in the crypt may benefit from a long rest. Those of you heading upstairs may benefit from a more comfortable long rest.
Very good.
Perfect.
There's no mechanical
Shouldn't that
difference.
come with a level?
between
Like, comfortable long rest comes with that?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
It would have, but unfortunately, now that you've said that you've asked for it, I have to put it back. I'm sorry, that's just the rules.
Owen,
worth
I
it.
will
Hello.
say this. I would definitely slip out.
The rest of it.
Oh yeah, I don't worry, Luther. I'm getting to you. I was about to say. So where
Don't
you
have
head
to come
into
back to
feed?
Bree Sons.
I'm definitely going outside of the church.
You're not
Right.
just getting down and lapping up Grinner's blood from the crypt
Gotta
floor.
get on his ship.
Get
I mean, no.
Where are you heading to get your sip on?
That district.
Where we are, we're in the church
Church.
to the left, sort of the west of town. So I'm definitely going to go sort of in the fields around, because it's a bit more open in this area, and I find that rabbits tend to be such a pest.
Sorry,
There might be
Luther,
some
wait.
little rabbits
Luther,
running around.
Sorry, there was a bed upstairs you could go to. You don't need to do a perimeter. We're happy to guard down here. You
You're
could
down
just
in the
go back
crypt.
upstairs.
You're down in the crypt. Yeah, he's heading up.
Nice try.
You don't need to leave the town walls, Grinner. As you head towards the front gate, you pass by a small farm with a chicken coop out the front with like 12 very large, fat, juicy-looking chickens inside.
I'll take one or two. I'm not going to deprive them the livelihood.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if they were going to eat the chickens anytime soon, you've done them a favor by draining all the blood. Because like, they'd have to bleed them anyway, so it's not like a...
Just offering a polite butchering service.
Those were clearly egg hens.
Yeah, true. as you pull out your straw and
And
drink
then Clucky
these...
that was a pet.
Yeah, drink these chickens like a Capri Sun. Just drain the chickens dry and then leave the corpses just hanging up over the mantelpiece.
Oh,
Just head
no,
back to
I
church.
wouldn't do it like that. I would make it look like a wild dog got in and got a few of them.
Oh, so you're not even taking
So it's a
responsibility for your chicken murder.
Have a good
No,
cat
why would
food
I say
chook.
that?
Can
I
you
don't wanna
make me
draw
a
attention.
stealth check, please, Luther, as you reach in and then try and quietly tear a chicken apart to make it look like a
21.
wild dog got to it?
Dismantle.
21.
He has a surprisingly straw-shaped tooth mark in him.
He does a pretty good job.
This isn't my first rodeo.
So you know very well, this is your first rodeo, you know chickens are a good choice, mainly because one of your curse of vampirism, even as a Dhampir, fresh blood from a living creature does taste better. Blood from a dead creature is hard, it doesn't give you the same level of sustenance. But chickens have this remarkable thing where if you snap their necks, because part of their brainstem is further down in the neck than the head, they actually live for a little bit after you snap their neck.
Well, that's grim.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
this little fact you busted
Feel
out.
good about
from-
yourself?
Oh,
You happy?
Just making sure you've got the science
Hey, at
for
least it's
this
not Grinner's
ready to
neck.
rock and roll. So
why
as
do
you
have
as,
such a chicken fact ready to go?
as you break, you look. As you break the necks of
Is that
two
what the
chickens.
sound is?
That's the sound. Yeah, as you break the necks of two chickens and drink all of their blood, and then proceed to tear them apart a little bit to make it look like a wild dog after you've already drunk them. The noise is fairly minimal, especially if you tear the chickens apart outside the coop and then just chuck the bodies in and run for it.
Which I probably do.
Yeah, cool. You make it back to the church. Everyone's still downstairs in the crypt. By this point, Grinner's wounds have been tended to. I'm guessing at some point someone's put like a bit of cloth over them to stop the bleeding just actively, and also as a bit of a barrier against further infection. But yeah, Grinner's almost now got... Grinner's now almost got a full circular scar, because you already had the neck scar at the front. Now you've got one at the back and on the sides. You've almost got a full circle, a full circumference.
Almost got the full set.
Yeah. When the full scar goes around like this, if someone says the magic word, Grinner's head just pops off magically.
Yeah, grows little legs and just scuttles away.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, you all benefit from a long rest. Luther, as you get your fix, you go back down to a sated level of your addiction. We are using the homebrew addiction table, which is a modified version of the D&D, the DM's Guild addiction table. Specifically for Luther as a Dampier.
We're drinking those with a straw. Is that a Cluckery Sun?
That's his choice. Cluckery Sun. Nice. That was good. You've been thinking about this, Raph, since we...
Too much.
Yeah, the whole time. I wondered why your eyes were going a bit cross-eyed for a bit there.
No, perfect. Cool. Look, cool. I don't have to explain my paleness anymore, but I do have to potentially explain one day why I was able to get up so quickly to the roof.
There is one thing I will mention, Luther. Even though the blood of these chickens does sate you, it's not quite the same.
Chicken blood tastes bad too.
Does it? Do you know that for a fact?
Doesn't have enough fat.
Yeah, it's all bitter.
Not enough flavor.
Is this a thing? You're actually like the thing is right. One of the measures of authenticity in a person's face is whether they act out the story or like act out the expression at the time. Haz literally was pulling a disgust face, which makes me think he knows what chicken blood is.
I've gone like Chris on. It's listed. Who hasn't really?
I will put my hand up for that. No.
Never have I ever.
Never have I ever. As you all awaken the next morning, feeling rested, I will say for Killian, could you please roll me a Constitution saving throw? You've been in these lands for some time. You've witnessed horrors beyond imagining. I just want to see how your psyche is doing and if you're haunted by nightmares of the past. 10.
10?
The answer is yes.
Yes.
You are going to take a failed level of sanity. This kind of catches you up to the rest of the group a little bit, who have also all got at least one failed level of sanity between them. And also this is, I think, a mark of your time in Barovia has left a bit of a scar on your psyche. Your dreams are filled with horrors, creatures you've seen, creatures you've heard of, and things which you have this bizarre feeling like you have yet to face. Horrors beyond imagining, and at the last moment as you are drowning in an ocean of blood, a figure standing high above you, looking down as you sink below the dark waters. You awaken gasping for breath, having sort of leant against the side of the crypt wall, the cold stone against your back, feeling very, very not comforting as you sort of gasp awake.
I'll uncross my legs because I was in a trance.
Just quick. You're in the crypt with some others, so maybe some caught on.
Everyone's in the crypt except for Tith. No, everyone's in the crypt except for, I think it was Jonor and Luther, right?
I had it up.
Oh,
Yeah,
Theo.
Theo, I think.
Theo. Yeah, okay, cool. You guys sleep in a lovely soft bed. It's lovely. You feel great. For Grinner, Tithla, and Father Lucian Petrovich. Lucian Petrovich is fast asleep, having suffered some weird lack of spinach, Theo thinks. He has passed out quickly after casting. He casts... What's the one that lets you... I think it's called Ritual... Or is it... What's the spell called? I think it is called Ritual. Where you can sanctify... No, what's it called?
Ceremony, maybe?
Ceremony. Thank you. Yeah. Ceremony. That's the one I was thinking.
I think it's Ceremony, yeah.
Couldn't remember the name. Ceremony. As he will cast Ceremony. I believe that's the one he wants to do. Yeah, he's going to do... I don't know if Ceremony's going to help. I think he'd do Sanctify then.
Sanctify.
There you go.
Yeah, it's going to have to
How
be
long does that take him to cast?
Sanctify. It takes him like the full 10 minutes ritual casting, and then he passes out.
Well, no, fuck that. I'm not sleeping down here if he's just down there for 10 minutes.
In that case, then all of you,
him and I'll just take him upstairs.
Yeah, all of you can head up then. Consecrate, is that the one I'm looking for? Consecrate? I'm trying to remember the name of the spell.
What I do want to do, Owen, though, before we all leave down there, is just kick the vampire dust all over the place so it's not in one pile. Just disperse it. I don't like the idea of her being in one spot. Makes me uncomfortable.
Amazing.
You can bag it up and use it as like kind of.
Oh, pocket dust!
Yeah.
I can just like.
Pocket sand.
I wonder, like, that'd be sticky if you got that in your eyes. That'd probably be significantly worse. It'd, like, gum you up.
I can't speak to what vampire dust would do to the eyes.
I'm just thinking, like, imagining an entire pile of skin flakes.
Oh my god. Hallow is the spell he casts. Sorry, let me rephrase. Hallow is the spell he casts. It takes him 24 hours to cast this. It is not a 10-minute thing. Sorry, that's the spell I was looking for. I found a third-party spell called Consecration, which was looks like it was very interesting, but it's actually just a very it's like a second-level spell. It's like, oh, perfect, but it's a bit overpowered.
Ceremony?
It's a classic third-party spell where it's like someone's really enjoyed. Ceremony wouldn't quite do it. It's not for.
No, but is that what you was half thinking of?
Ceremony was the one I was thinking of. I wondered if there was like a version of ceremony to help like bless an area, but it is called Hallow. Hallow is the spell I was thinking of, which basically infuse an area with holy power.
I'll definitely be staying downstairs with him through that then.
Does he have a speed bonus because he has Saint Bones?
I will actually. That's a good point. He does have a speed bonus because he has Saint Bones. It takes him half the time, but it's also like he can only do it for everlasting rest. So the only aspect of it he can do, the only effect he can do is everlasting rest on it through the Saint Bones. But yeah, at the end of it, let's say at the end of the 12 hours, he inters the bones of St. Andrel back underneath the church in their resting place, still contained within the silver sarcophagus. You have no idea where he got this silver lockbox from. That definitely wasn't here last time. That's new. Since you last checked in with him. But yeah, as he finishes the spell the next morning, he's probably still going as you guys wake up. So actually, I will quickly retcon that. As you sort of like come awake quickly, Killian, rising from your nightmare, Lucian, Father Petrovich, looks around, sees you, gives you a bit of like a sympathetic nod, and then continues casting this spell.
Oh, because I only need to transfer 4 hours, so I'll go over to him, and I'll go around the crypt, and I'm going to say a prayer to Kelemvor on each of the crypts as I go around, just asking for if his light can protect any of them from being raised again in this hellscape, then hopefully he can protect them.
Father
and I do
Petrovich,
have a symbol of Kelemvor around my neck, which I try to hide.
Father Petrovich gives you a grateful look and nods, smiling, seeing your symbol. He doesn't seem to recognize the holy symbol. You see a little bit of a look of confusion as he tries to sort of get a glimpse of the holy symbol and listens to your prayer, not seeming to recognize the name of your god, but still shoots you a very grateful smile, nods as you continue on. Doesn't interrupt his ritual though. Continues on. Brilliant. The rest of you all awaken the next morning and reconvene on the ground floor of the church. Waiting for you there are two figures that you absolutely recognize. You can see the two lovely traveling companions that you brought with you all the way back from the village of Barovia. As you are still with Ismark and Irina, they sort of emerge, having walked in from outside, seeing all of you, like some of you emerging from the crypt, some of you emerging from rooms. Ismark sort of stands there, a youngish man with shoulder-length hair tied back. I'm just realizing that you probably haven't met them before, Killian. Youngish man with, brown hair tied back in a little ponytail, shoulder-length, dressed in very casual linens, with a woman with very dark hair, very striking, beautiful features, almost a little bit hawkish, quite a sharp face, beautiful. And as they both sort of see the rest of you guys slowly emerging either from the crypt or from the rooms, Ismark gives you a bit of a smile, a nod, and goes, "You chose to sleep down in the crypts. That's an interesting choice.
We would just keep the priest company, that's all."
Oh, I hadn't seen Father Petrovich, is he okay? What's been going on?
I think he needs some more spinach, from what I heard. But yeah, he's just down there finishing up to stop any more of the people getting up and wandering around the place.
Sure. Oh, sorry, friend. I don't think we've met you before. You've picked up yet another stray, I see. As Ismark gives a bit of a smile, leans over towards you, Killian, puts out a hand to shake your hand, the right hand. Sorry, when I say the right hand, he puts out his left hand to shake your right hand.
Oh, yeah, right? I'll shake it back, yeah.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Ismark. This is my sister, Irina. Charmed. It is lovely to meet you.
Pleasure to meet both of you. I have met these people recently. Temporary travel companions, I believe, is the term that we are coining, is it not? I do not know.
We started off that way as well.
We also haven't gone anywhere. We met you here, and we haven't left here, so I don't think travel would be the right term.
More like stay in the same place companions.
Yeah, more like stationary companions, like pens and pencils.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Would that make you an eraser?
No, that's someone who kills people.
Yeah, I'm the eraser.
If it's any consolation, we started off as traveling companions, and now I think it would be fair to say we are friends. As Irina looks around at all of you with a big smile on her face.
Yeah, I like them.
Ismark is our political candidate to take over in Varaki.
Oh, interesting. So you do have somebody in mind to take over from the Arsat that's in charge at the minute.
Yes, he has a lot of experience in running another small town, and he's proven himself to be a gentleman of upstanding quality.
They ran him out of that town as well.
No, he just left with us. He does not run out. He was known as Ismark as the very, very good. And
I think I remember wrong then.
Yeah, you must.
I think you do, Tiflo. I think that's enough out of you, love.
I'll go check my notes, see what happened.
They're referring to the fact that I was the son of the burgomaster of the village of Barovia. Tell me, you look like you've been around here for some time, Killian. Look like you've traveled these lands extensively. Have you ever been to the village of Barovia before? You do seem vaguely familiar.
Very, very briefly. I was with some other people. We did not stay for long. It was more of a passing visit. Not even a day there.
Right.
That's fair enough. It was kind of a shit town, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I'm not going to agree with you. That's why Irina and I left once my father had been. Anyway,
Killian.
Yeah, that's the word. That's why I had to do the father.
I've just been going through my notes like I said I would.
Fucking hell.
Do you happen to know someone called Rill?
Oh yeah.
Do I happen to know anybody called Rill?
Here's a fun question. We had when you watch live, you earn channel points and you may spend them to create NPCs. One of the lovely community, Bryn Brassax, created an NPC called Rill, who was a Vidalcan traveler who had come through from the Sword Coast. I think from Waterdeep specifically.
I just had from Real World written down.
From Real World.
Rill from Real World.
Real World.
Wow. So Rill was from Waterdeep, from the Forgotten Coast. From the Sword Coast, sorry, from the Forgotten Realms. I guess the question, conceivably, yeah, Rill could have been one of your party members. Josh,
So
it's
he's
up
been
to
here
you.
for 3 to 3.5 weeks, apparently. That's what he told us.
Then that, yeah, I think it was, yeah. So then no, I take that back. He cannot have been one of your companions. You've been here for far longer than that. No, you've never heard of this person before. Really? What a stupid name.
Never heard of a Fishman?
No.
Yeah, the tall blue skin fish-like person.
No.
Real sounds like Gil.
I think a large blue person would have stood out to me. I've not seen anybody like that.
Yeah, I mean, it stuck out to me. That's why I've remembered all on my own.
Yeah, he keeps saying, I see you to us whenever he saw us. It was weird.
Whatever happened to that guy? Where'd he go?
Yeah.
You guys left him behind in Barovia.
He was going to stay and look after the church for a bit because he was a priest.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh yeah, we
right.
kind of killed that other priest too.
Yeah,
Well, he
no,
died
we
under
did.
circumstances.
Did he die? I don't remember.
He was
that.
erased.
Hey.
I don't remember killing that one though. Did I kill that one?
Didn't we, or did we give him to? Did we capture him and give him to the guards for murdering?
Yeah, we took Father Dorovich, the priest of Barovia. I was there with you guys. We brought him to the jail and handed him over to the town guard after his son Doru turned into a vampire some time ago, and he'd been feeding townsfolk to his vampire spawned son.
That's right. I kind of erased that one from my memory because it was very traumatic.
Yeah, it was pretty tragic.
Also, because we were talking about it last night. Again, in my notes that we've learnt earlier, to cure a vampire involves dying and resurrecting.
To cure one?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'll keep that in mind if we ever need to cure any vampires.
Yeah. It also says on the same page that Grinna fell asleep on guard, but that's okay.
Well, you know what? Can I look at that, please? I want to try and grab that page and rip it out.
I'm going to get you to make me a sleight of hand check contested with a sleight of hand check from Tith.
I mean, I'm not being very sleight of hand about it. But
it is about speed and reaction timing, not strength. This is one of those things where you need to be
that's a 9.
quick.
That's not good.
That's not good for
Tith. It's an 11.
Grinna, you just pluck at the page, and with this horrible ripping noise, one of the pages of Tithler's dog-eaten notebook just gets ripped out. You hold in your hands a page that says, Grinna fell asleep on duty. What else does it say, Jacob?
It says, sun in basement.
Yep.
Solar lily, arrow to sleepy tea. That was the kind of flowers and plants that they were using. Putting us to sleep. Cure vampire - die and resurrect. Gren to win Berg, whatever that means. And Grinna fell asleep.
That sounds like a typo, Jacob. That sounds like someone typing in quickly. Getting a typo if I had to make a guess.
Was that the guy who's going to take over as Burgomaster of Barovia once Ismark was not re-elected?
Yeah, maybe. Whoever Gren is.
It sounds like a name I would have come up with on the spot to quickly
douche,
give you guys some narrative reason that Ismark could leave with you.
So I'm just going to, as carefully as possible, fold along the line and tear the page so that the bit about Grinna falling asleep on duty is not anymore there.
Oh, okay, sorry. I misunderstood.
I'm ripping the whole page out.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to now tear this section off with the rest back.
I wondered if you were
the bit.
Gently plucking the notebook rather than... No, but okay, cool. Tithler, Grinna hands you back the page, Torn.
I'm just going to eat falling asleep after
You're going to eat that bit?
Too?
Yeah, I got to get rid of it. It's got to go. It's not allowed.
You watch as Irina just looks on in amazement as you just go... shove a bit of paper in your mouth and start chewing.
Parchment before?
Is that vellum or is it parchment?
It's vellum. Only because it's it'd be parchment. I don't think Tithler would have like a vellum notebook. That'd probably be a bit much for Tithler's pocket money from her parents. As you begin eating the fragment of parchment, it's not easy to chew, but you just swallow it down and deal with it. You've eaten worse. You've eaten your own boots one time on patrol.
Yeah, it's happened.
So
that was for boredom, though.
Yeah, that was just to see give it a go. One of the boys dared you, said you couldn't do it. So you ate their boots
first,
too.
Though, made it easier.
Irina sort of nods, looking a bit confused, shakes her head as if to clear the mental image of that, and goes,
we were actually coming to look for you. The Festival of the Blazing Sun starts today.
Sorry, just for everyone's fun, that was almost exactly 7 months ago.
Well,
out of game time. In game time, not even a week.
It's been like a week.
That's insane. That's gone that fast. Anyway, carry on.
Sorry.
The Festival of the Blazing Sun starts today, and I was wondering if we wanted to use this as an opportunity to maybe go around and talk to some of the villagers, maybe find out who would be, let us say, happy to either stand aside and do nothing or fight for Ismark when we depose Vargas. We are planning that... Well, I will let Ismark explain. He has an idea about how to, let's say, disrupt the Festival of the Blazing Sun for our own gains. Yes, so Baron Vargas has organized a large, grand speech. I hear he loves the sound of his own voice. And he's organizing a bit of an opportunity to do a talk right before the
massive wicker wreaths are all lit tonight. I'm thinking this might be the time. If we can seize control of the stage and make sure that some of the guards are on our side, I think we could perhaps do this with everyone gathered in one place. Keep the momentum rolling. And if we can seize him and imprison him and announce me as the new burgomaster all at the same time and announce that we are doing away with these insane festivals and stocking people for no smiling and...
Have you guys made a lot of connections with some of the more powerful people in this town?
Yes. We have been busy the last day and a half making sure that we talk to as many people as possible. We have a number of the key influential people in town on side. Blinsky has been hard at work making many, many toys of his mark, wearing the official Baron's robes and handing them out. The Burgomaster's chain of office, handing them out to the children. We've also had a bit of a chance to meet with two of the... not chief guards, but I believe their title was captain of the guards. We've spoken with two of the captains, and we think they are sympathetic to our cause.
Well, there's what was her name? Was it Amelia?
Amelia. She's the
yeah.
Lance Corporal.
Yeah, Lance Corporal.
Yes, she was there. We did not speak to her very much, but yes, Lance Corporal Amelia, she was there as well, yes.
I think
I should
just remember she doesn't like to be called the bastard. That's what they call her.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would like to be called the bastard.
Well, that's why I'm just letting you know. That's what they call her.
That's assumed knowledge, Tithler. I don't think we need a specific warning for that.
Okay. I'm sorry. I won't let
No,
you know
it's not that. It's
time.
nothing to be... No,
I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
As a rough percentage, roughly how many of the guards do you think would be on side? Because if it's not at least, half or more, I think we would probably lose, because as long as he has the guards, he essentially has the city.
Well,
actually,
I should be able to help with that.
Yeah, at the moment we think maybe 30%, but I don't think we need to get 50% on side. I don't think we even need to get that much more than 30. If we make sure that the guards who are on our side are the ones that are standing with him on the stage and can take him and capture him, I think that is enough. Even if he calls for the other guards to free him, if there's an air of legitimacy to what we're doing, if it comes across that this is the right thing, and the people step up and block the guards from accessing the stage, the ones who are with him, not with us, I think we can do this. We can, without any bloodshed.
Well, that sounds very reasonable, but how do we ensure that our guards are the ones guarding him?
Well, I think it would be a safe bet for me to go have a yard with this Amelia. I've spoken with her once before, and she seems reasonable. Let's put it that way. Is
a Lance Corporal a particularly high rank?
Well,
we do not have military ranks in Zephyr.
No, she is somewhere near the top. She's not in charge, but she's up there. It's coincidentally, it's where I made it to before I quit the whole process too. So I think I should be able to speak to her man to man, as it were.
All right. Well, if you can get her to help us ensure that our guards are in the right place, then 30% should be enough. As long as we can take him and you give a rousing speech and we get the people on side, then the coup should go off relatively bloodless.
I don't think we need to call it a coup. Do we need to call it a coup?
Is it 100% a coup?
And also, does it have to be entirely bloodless?
I mean, we will probably have to do something reasonably bloody with Vargas, or as a show of strength.
Yeah, good. All right. And at least I just want to do a little bit of fighting.
I do have one question. You going to be all right to do that on your own, Grinner? I know you very well, and I've realized that you're quite impulsive.
Well, yeah.
If the conversation went awry, could you hold yourself back from potentially, causing some harm to this Amelia?
Well, look, I know that self-preservation doesn't always... Well, I can't believe I got that word out. It doesn't always rank that high on my list, but this isn't just about me this time, and I'm not going to let you lock down. All right, I'm here for the team, and I'm done with letting people down.
Okay. I think that's good for me. Like seeing Grinner trying to improve himself, I think I'm definitely going to back that up. So I sort of nod in agreement and just give you a thumbs up.
Yeah, all aboard. No, it sounds like a very good plan, Ismark.
Thank you. I've been working on it for some time. The only other thing I was going to ask, Killian, I'm not sure if you have a horse in this race, but from the sounds of it, you're not particularly keen on the current leadership of Valaki.
No, definitely not. I've been through here a few times, and no, I'm not a fan.
Okay. Well, well, if you're happy to help us out, I mean, welcome to the coup, I guess.
Yes.
Is there anything you need us to do to prepare for this, or is Mr. Grinner's work with Amelia sufficient?
Look, it's hard to say. I'm happy for Grinner to go and talk to Amelia. If the rest of you can maybe move about the festival, if you get a chance to speak to anyone, if you get a chance to maybe sabotage the festival in any way to make it look like there's things going on. What I'm thinking is that if we can draw the attention of some of the guards who don't know that we're about to launch a coup, maybe make sure that there's things that are keeping them busy away from the main stage, that might be ideal.
Yes. We can definitely cause a distraction.
I have a question. I do have
Yes.
a question. Well, not in response to what you're saying. You're saying that we have access to some of the captains, or the captain. Could you have him roster some guards? Not roster, but we could maybe fabricate a story about that wolf again, and say that there's been sightings, and he can send some of the guards to go and investigate those reports, and he can specifically send ones that aren't entirely on our side.
Could we potentially, instead of fabricating the reports, make it so that people do see the big wolf or a big wolf and then report it themselves?
I mean, I do have a signal whistle, and I gave our friend one as well. So
That's true.
we actually do have some way of communicating.
We also, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, have somebody who can turn into a wolf.
Oh,
Yes, I can turn into a werewolf. Not as big as the one that Mr.
But it'll be
Octavio
far
had.
away, so it'll look
I
like
think you can turn into a direwolf, can't you, Theo?
What Sierra direwolves? Are they
Two.
one? I don't have two yet because I put all the levels into barbarian.
That's right. That's a
Well,
shame.
they don't like me, so if I make myself known and run away, then his guards will probably chase me. So that's also an option.
Start waving Jonah around on a stick.
I think you can turn into a direwolf, but I think what he had was a winter wolf, which is a bit more above that.
Yeah, that sounds right. Because he had the
What
cold
thing-
breath.
Yeah. It definitely was a winter wolf. I'm just wondering if maybe you could turn into a direwolf. Because
I
a winter
don't
wolf is.
think
Think
people
also-
know the difference.
I want to know if
Oh no, it's only challenge only one. You can turn into a direwolf, Theo.
Yeah, I thought so. Because we were talking about this. I remember saying, Bear's really good, and you were like saying, no, the direwolf's really good, and I remember that you could.
That's right. Yeah, of course. That's what I ended up getting the Beyondling for because I wanted something in
both.
between.
That's right. You made me create an entirely homebrew animal because you wanted the benefits of both. So I didn't give you, and I gave you the Beyondling, which is a bear elk hybrid.
What do we call it? A belk or something?
You called it a
we'll
belk.
call it Belk for a while.
The full version is the Bayon, which is when it's fully grown. The younger ones are called Bayonlings. I haven't. Have I finished the stats for the Bayon? I think I did finish the stats for the Bayon.
Yeah.
It's a challenge rating 3. It's a big boy.
Okay, so I'll get that eventually.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you'll be able to grow into the adult version in a bit. But it's like, again, it's like the size of a dire bear. They're fucking huge. Like they're big boys, the Bayons, when they're fully grown. And the antlers give you the charge attack, which is very handy.
how much does it charge?
Too much for you to afford.
Just a quick fun fact.
Uh-oh.
I know obviously the ranks in Barovia are different to what we have here in the real world.
Yes.
Lance Corporal is the second lowest rank.
Okay. I'm going to adjust it to Sergeant Amelia then. Would that be appropriate?
Sergeant. That's
Sergeant's
2
Great,
steps
so
up.
then that
Right.
means
Yeah.
that in
private-
this whole
Lance
Okay,
Corporal,
so
Corporal,
the ranks are going to be commander, which is the commander of the day and night watch, captains for the day, captain for the night. Then there's going to be the sergeants, and then under that are corporals and lance corporals.
play that, I do.
Does that work?
Yeah, that.
I know nothing about military. The fact that I've been able to pull that off is purely Terry Pratchett, and I'm just literally using the ones that he uses for the Night Watch.
Your tick and death knowledge up here, your military knowledge down here.
I'd like to think that like Grinner got to Lance Corporal and he was sort of going up above it, but he kept like doing a lot of like disruptions and fights and brawls and kept
Corporal's above that, right? Isn't it? Isn't it Lance Corporal then Corporal?
Correct. Then Sergeant. Then
Grinner got knocked back down a lot of times.
100%.
He made it a lot higher many times and went back down a lot.
Okay, so I'm going to say that it's Sergeant Amelia.
Okay.
Sarge.
No lieutenant?
No lieutenants. There's no need for a lieutenant.
Is there a lieutenant?
Rear Admiral.
Thank you for saying it right.
Hey, we're in Australia. That's how they say it.
That's correct. Because people say lieutenant, do they?
In
Americans.
Yeah.
Wait, so how did you say that one again?
We say
Lieutenant.
Yeah.
That's how you say it if you're English or Australian.
Or if you just want to pronounce
culture.
it correctly.
Yeah. Or right.
I've never even thought there was two forms, but yeah, cool.
There's not two forms.
That's the right way and there's the American way.
There's the right way and there's the wrong way.
There's still two forms.
Yeah,
there's metric and then there's
freedom units.
All right.
Look, we got the right to be free and to have freedom in our units that don't make any sense or are consistent. That's our freedom.
So, can I ask for when you went around and were talking to all the people in town and getting people on side, did you notice any guards in particular or anyone in particular who seemed relatively upset about any writing that might have been found on the mayor's house recently?
I haven't been out very much this morning. I couldn't comment on that. That was mostly yesterday. No one seemed to upset about that. Although there was one thing that was rather unusual. A number of the guards for the Wachter family seem to be chasing cats around the place.
No, that's normal.
That's a bit strange, isn't it? Don't know about that. Don't know anything.
They were working till quite late in the night. Said they'd been ordered to not rest until they'd caught these cats.
That's actually, slightly on topic there. Those people, the Wachter soldiers. Do you reckon we could order them to start fighting the normal guards?
If we pay them, then I think so, probably.
I thought we wanted to do this with no bloodshed.
Well, I don't know about this wee business, mate.
I will add in, you guys, that the remainder of the Wachter family, Stella and Nikolai. Nikolai has offered you, he's offering assistance in return for you helping cure his sister's madness, Stella's madness. That's why you told them to collect all the cats, because you had a hypothesis that maybe her mind had been shattered into 12 cats. I don't know where that came from, but...
And we were right.
That was clearly a Tithler hypothesis.
That was from Grinner, thank you.
Was it? Amazing.
Yeah.
Next tier up, but only just.
Only just.
Up? Rude?
On the chaos ladder. You know that Nikolai has said he will wait around for a couple of days in the town. He believes you that it was all Raspip who was murdering his family, that got all murder with his family. He's agreed to kind of help you guys. I mean, if you were to go to him and ask for his help, might be a bit tricky, but if you were to continue your mission of curing his sister's madness, or help him cure his sister's madness...
in reality, Stella, she just needs to go see a Wachter, doesn't she?
Oh, mate. Are you trying to make a joke on Doctor? It's a stretch, isn't it? It's a real stretch.
Oh my God. That was bold.
Honestly, I think that actually really hurt. I need to stop doing that. But
I'm gonna get you to roll me. I'm gonna get you to roll me a D4, please, Grinner.
I think an insanity check on that.
Nah, this is psychic damage he's taking as a result of that joke.
Self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted psychic damage. As Grinner thinks about 4. The dice never lie. Please enjoy 4 psychic damage, Grinner.
Grinner's just crying tears of blood.
As Grinner does mention as Grinner, oh god, as Grinner does mention the Walkers, though, that's quite interesting, though. Those two that we left behind. If we say to them that we can help them with trying to bring back that daughter's sanity, maybe they can. Him being the last of that line now, I guess, he might have some power in the city. I'm not sure. Being such a powerful family, we might be able to say if we help the sister as much as we can, he might throw his weight behind our friend here. And I point to Ismark.
I think we have a really good motivation, actually. We know that the sister was maddened or turned insane from the Wachter family. Sorry, the Velakovich, sorry.
Mm.
So we have all the ammunition we need, really. Just got to use that correctly.
Because that name is still a powerful name right now. Obviously, not everyone realizes what's happened. So by all means, if he stands up now as the head of the family and says we throw our support behind Ismark, because literally, like that, the Velakovich family is the one that caused his sister become that way, and almost caused the whole demise of their family.
I think that makes a lot of sense, to be honest.
So there's a few avenues we can tackle here. We've got the guards. We can get the Wachter to throw in, their support. So that's a powerful family, and others that you have mentioned before, and you've been able to get to our side. So we've definitely got some cogs are rolling.
Look, I think this sounds great. If you can get the support of the Wachter family, from what I've learned, they are quite an influential family. Obviously, with the Lady Wachter having... yes, if you could get the support of her son.
Died. She died.
I feel like Theo, I think you've had quite a decent rapport with them above the others, above us. So I would, if it's up to you. I personally don't think I should go, considering what happened.
No, I can talk to him and see if he'd be willing to support our cause. I know his mother didn't really want the Baron in charge anyway, so yeah, I can do this.
Great. Well, it sounds like we've got a couple of different groups. Maybe Grinner heading to the watch house to speak to.
I think I'm going to go with Grinner just to support him. I'm going to let him do the talking. I'll just be there, just to give him some support. And I definitely don't think I should go to the Wachter house, considering that I'm the one who pulled the trigger at the end of it. So
Okay,
I don't. Yeah.
But it'd be good to have some backup when I have to fight all the guards. That'd be good.
So,
it's been nice knowing you.
What?
So
prefer
Luther
you
and
not to
Grinner
fight the guards.
head to the watch house. Jonor and someone else head to the Wachter house, and then two others cause a disturbance.
Theo and Jonor can go together, I guess.
Theo and Jonor. Did Theo want to pretend to be a giant wolf, though, to draw the attention of the guards outside the city?
Yeah, so I thought you were talking about the. Oh no, sorry, you are talking about the Wachter house. I got confused with the families again. Yep, don't worry, all good. I can do that, or I can go be a wolf. If Jonah's.
Jonor actually had a pretty good rapport with them as well, actually.
Yeah.
So maybe Jonor and Killian,
I'd rather not go
Tifla.
back to the house.
Okay, maybe Tifla and Theo can.
Yeah, do you want to come ride the wolf?
Yeah, he can
literally
do the wolf.
girl who cried wolf.
Alright, so
I can do that.
Alright, so me and Grinner will go to the guardhouse. I guess Killian. Killian, I guess if you want, you can help our friend Jonor here. I know you don't really know much about the Wachter, what happened, but you seem very capable.
You've seen Killian use magic. Killian clearly knows magic.
No, he definitely is worthwhile. So
I could work with if Theodore is going to be a wolf. I could be the person that's like wolf, and try and get the guards to come with me to hunt said wolf down.
Well, I don't think you want to hunt the wolf, because the wolf is going to be our friend.
No, obviously we're not going to actually hunt. It's just I'm going to lead the guards that I can away.
I've been waiting for this moment since I first met you, Bobber.
Might be better,
Hunt the
if
wolf.
you don't do that. Might be better if you do it, because you've been here more than me, and I don't know, people get scared of me. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm horribly burned or the fact that I'm a goblin, but people don't tend to like me.
Honest.
So,
Okay, you already had a go about it.
Well, maybe just do something about it, love. I'm trying to be subtle here, but...
I'm trying, but it's a part of the healing herbs. Okay, we don't want these wounds to get septic, and then that'll be a smell, okay?
I thought that was the smell.
No, it's much worse than that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a little bit upsetting, if I'm honest.
it will be upsetting for your tum-tum.
all right. So if Journal's going to the Wachter house, who will go with him? Though anyone?
I can go. Maybe I should brave that.
Face your fears, I guess.
Well, also, one thing that we actually haven't spoken about, I don't know, maybe I'm just forgetting about it, maybe
Probably.
you lot have already thought about it, but the mayor's kid fucking hates his dad, right? Well, and he seems like he can do some shit. Are we just going to let him sit in the attic while all this happens? Why don't we get him on side?
Yeah, I mean, Jonah had a very good rapport with him.
You promised Victor that you would meet with him at midnight after the festival and teach him how to fix his teleportation circle.
Oh, we're 100% not doing that.
Cool.
that guy was kind of pretty evil.
That might cause problems later, but who knows?
I don't want to make assumptions, but I take it we have the priest and the church's support in this as well.
Oh, I don't think we've actually asked him about that.
No, we have. Yes, we have.
He's been
Yes.
going around preseason campaigning.
Hands on board.
Ismark just talks over the top of it. No, we have. Yes. Yes, Father Lucian Petrovich is on board. He's spoken about it at a couple of sermons now about the need for clear-headed and wise leadership, planting the seeds of doubt in the minds of the congregation. We're covered. He's on board. He's very on board. He thinks that Vargas Vlakovic is a madman.
Oh, that's really good. I did not want to have to kill him.
Father, what?
Well, if he's not on side, then he's got to go. He knows all the plans. But that's good. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's not necessary.
We wouldn't have to kill him if worst case scenario. We don't have to do anything. But worst case scenario, you just tie him up, right?
Yeah, look. If this is the priest we kill versus the last one we met, I'm gonna have some problems with this group.
You were gonna say something, Killian?
I was just going to say I'm going to cover the priest's ears up. Who's probably
He's downstairs. He's downstairs in the crypt.
Prince.
He's not there. He's downstairs in the crypt.
He isn't even privy to the plans.
I heard an echo. Why are you killing me? If my death is necessary for the greater good.
No, he doesn't say any of that. He's down.
Do we need to have a plan B in case all of this non-bloodshed doesn't go the way that we want it to?
If anyone comes at you and tries to stab you, you get there first. With them, stab yourself. Stab them.
I mean, it's probably not a good basis for a new government sort of starting the reign with bloodshed, so we should try and avoid that, I guess, the best of our ability. But you do bring a good point. What plan B do we have that, and I look at Grinner, that doesn't involve killing half of the people in this town?
All right, for starters, I'm only half joking about it. Yeah, look, anyway, if we're going to do it without the bloodshed, this is the best option. If there's a backup option, it's probably going to be dragging out all of the people that are trying to stab us from the town, just leading them out somewhere. I'm not going. I had thought past that point, but if we all just run away, then I don't know. Do we win somehow still?
Look, I mean, truthfully, if we set up a competent government, I don't think many of the common people will care one way or another who is really in charge.
No, but it's more the people who are getting paid by the current one that won't be paid by the new one.
Well, we just ensure everyone keeps getting paid, yes?
I'm hoping that we can seize the Vlakovic funds. I hear they have a vault full of gold.
And a son full of evil doings?
Is Victor that bad? I've not heard anything about Victor that makes me think he's evil. It seems just like a shy, quiet kid from what I've heard.
He's naive.
The greatest of evils are the ones unseen.
That was almost wisdom, Tither.
He exploded some maids.
I'm sorry, what happened? Something came over me.
He disintegrated some maids trying to learn magic.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty shit.
He's. I mean, there wasn't malice to what he was doing. He wasn't trying to hurt anyone, but he definitely took large risks, knowing that someone could get hurt. Yeah, he didn't seem to care too much.
I don't really know how magic works, but I'm guessing it's like to disintegrate someone is that an easy thing to do, or is that like he really fucked up at that point?
He really fucked up at that point. Yes.
Where was he getting these spells from that disintegrated people?
Evil book. Oh
Sorry,
no, actually no. Actually, evil book and book on astral planes.
Jonah, as you hold up the black book bound in what looks to be like this dark tanned leather, Ismark reaches over to take it. Wow, from this book, this is where he learnt it, and he's gonna go to flip through it.
I've already glued on to the no touchy.
Yeah. Do you just like mage hand it back out of his hand again as he goes to
I would have just done like a little swift away, a little turn.
Do you want to quickly roll me a spellcasting attack? I just want to see what your spellcasting modifier is. So just a d20 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Oh no.
Oh no. Ismark opens the book, and as he looks down, he goes, I don't know what any of this means. And then you take the book off him. Ismark is not a spellcaster, so it's got no magic. As he looks at the book, he's like, I couldn't read any of that. It just looks like scribbles. That picture, there's like a person with like a spider for a head. That's not normal, right?
It's pretty weird, but what do you think of that?
Pretty weird.
I mean,
I'm not into it, but is anyone else here into it?
I couldn't really understand what it was. I got a very quick look at it. How would I feel? Huh?
Okay, all right, yeah, fair enough. On the topic of brutal things, if we do a coup and then the thing slides the other way in not the favor of Vargas, and we don't want to do bloodshed, what are we going to do there? We're just going to chuck him in jail, or what?
Yeah, no, we don't. No. The plan is to jail Vargas. I don't want to kill anybody. The plan is
probably have to like beat him up and put him through some kind of public spectacle.
No. We can do this without copying the same things that he does.
People will demand something.
No, we'll banish him. We're banishing him. We're banishing him, guys. We're going to banish him.
No, he is far too dangerous to be let outside than to run free.
The best option is to dehumanize him. You got to strip him down naked. You got to whip him through the streets and make sure that he's not a human by the end of it.
Everyone's seen Game of Thrones.
Ismark turns towards Killian. Killian, you've been in Barovia for some time. These people are fairly new. If we banish him out to the wilds, what would you give his percentage chance of survival?
Minus 100%.
Minus 100%.
That is assuming he doesn't have some kind of evil friends out there that could help him.
My plan was to wait till sundown after a day or two when people have kind of forgotten about him, set him out without a sword or anything. I mean, he's a pampered nobleman. What's he going to do?
Wait, so Ismark, you're opposed to bloodshed.
Yep.
But you're not opposed to setting out someone to basically die.
Yeah.
So indirect bloodshed's all right.
Absolutely.
So no, direct bloodshed is not all right, but indirect bloodshed is fine.
Yeah. What if we wrap him up as a nice little gift and send him up the hill to the windmill?
Yes, the windmill is very nice.
Killian, could I get you to please roll me a history check to see what you know of the windmill?
Roll for pies.
14. Killian, during your time in Barovia, you have partaken of a delicious food known as a dream pastry. Anyone who eats a dream pastry, a slice of dream pastry, has wonderful dreams during the night.
Falls asleep on watch too.
They are very Moorish, though. You've noticed that those who partake of the dream pastry find themselves wanting for not many other foods. After your first sort of one or two slices of dream pastry in the past, your lack of funds probably prohibited you from acquiring more dream pastry easily, and you have since kicked the habit. However, you know that there is a windmill not too far out of Vallaki, run by 3 women, a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter, who create these dream pastries all by themselves and travel around the wilds of Barovia with nothing but a cart selling them. Morgana, the mother, the most common one that you see out and about, raven-haired woman in her mid-40s. Definitely this would have piqued your curiosity about like how the fuck are you not being killed every time you leave, as you are his simple, humble pie merchant? The questions that you ask were blown off with deflective answers involving, well, I'm pretty skilled at magic, you know, I know a few spells to get me out of trouble. But you are definitely suspicious about the windmill and what goes on there. Definitely. You've not had a chance to fully investigate at this point, but something seems sus about it, and you have never once touched dream pastry or dream pie after that point, after sort of learning about these people.
Do not recommend the day to a 0 out of 5 on.
Tried to consume me, literally.
Yelp review is Yelp, I'm in danger.
Yelp, I'm in danger. More like a blood-curdling scream. Yeah, so the fact that they talk about bundling someone up, wrapping them up, and delivering them to the windmill, I mean, you're already a bit suspicious of the windmill. At this point, in your mind, you're like, I think I know what goes into dream pastries.
He would make a good pie, to be fair.
Very tender.
Yeah.
I'm glad I do not partake in those pies anymore. I would not send
anymore.
Could potentially be powerful allies for him. And also sending him into the woods could result in him becoming more powerful if he was to make a deal with somebody more powerful than him. He could come back with an army, let's say.
Yes, I think he's safer if he's either in jail or preferably dead.
Well, leaving him in jail, yeah, it's not. I hate to say. Well, no, I don't hate to say it. He's got to die. He can't go to jail because he'll get out of jail eventually, or he'll rot in there, and that's not a nice way to go. It's got to be something quick, and it doesn't have to be on display. We don't need to set any precedents by hanging the bastard, but we do need to kill him.
I think
Public burning at the stake.
that we need.
A good old-fashioned Fey revel.
That's definitely going to be a no from me on burning a man alive.
Well, what is a basic assassination in his home without any guards or anything involved?
Before
just whoever he has in his house.
Before he can even appear at the festival.
Yes.
I
No,
think
the transfer of power needs to happen.
I'll be honest, I'm opposed to any bloodshed of any form. I'd rather keep him in prison.
Ironic.
I don't want to kill him. I know it's ironic.
I mean, whatever is
trying to be a
most
good.
suited.
I'm trying to be a good.
I'm opposed to bloodshed because it's a waste of good blood. Keep it bottled up so I can sip on it later.
Bloodletting is okay though.
Yeah.
Look, Luther, I get that. I do understand it, mate. But there's two things there. I've been in prison as well. Surprise. But one of the things
that was 2 days ago.
What brings that on up?
So for when you're locked up like that, and we can't let him out, right? He's going to be in there forever. That is a horrible fucking existence, mate. It would be a lot better if he just died. It would be quick. I'm happy to take that upon myself so that no one else has to carry that burden, and it would just be a quick little and off he goes. Send him on his way.
We would be living with it because we will have agreed to it. I thought we'd agreed that we wouldn't be doing that sort of thing.
All right, what would you prefer? Would you like him to sit in a jail cell and slowly go crazy and never see the sun again and be fed gruel and waste away?
We could put him on house arrest.
I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue that you have is that you only have the support of 30% of the town guard. If you put him in jail, the other 70% might try to get him out.
That is true. Perhaps he does need to go.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, then I think banishing is the best bit. Then at least he has some form of chance.
I think
Yes,
some sort of trial
is the problem here.
At least, even though it's minuscule, he has at least some form of a chance, at least at some survival.
The thing is, if he does survive, it would only be by becoming something that we do really not want to deal with.
Can I make a suggestion? I know we want to keep him alive, well, I don't really understand why you want to do that. But from the sake of the town and the transition to new leadership, let me get my thoughts in order, because
Can I make a guess on
this
what
is big.
Grin is going to propose? Are you going to chop his arms and legs off and his tongue out so he becomes a human worm?
I was not actually.
Oh, okay.
I like that. No, if we are to do this, the transfer of power needs to be as politically endorsed as possible. It needs to be something that it can be a actual normal good transfer across to new leadership without it being tainted by any of this shit. So whatever we do with him needs to be done in the background, in the quiet, and I really do put my vote down for he needs to die. It does not need to be public. In fact, the more people that think he is still alive, the better, but he's got to go.
Okay. Well, I think a public banishment would be good from all that. It shows mercy and gets rid of him, probably.
I can see you've rolled a history check, Killian. What are you thinking?
Oh no, that was my history check from the window.
Yeah, that was from a while back.
My roll 20 duplicated it. That's so weird.
I saw it as well, yeah.
Can I ask a question of the group?
Yes.
Yes, Tiffany, well, go ahead.
Are we here trying to help an election happen, or are we trying to stage a coup? Because if we're trying to stage a coup, then that probably is associated with killing the leader. But I thought we were here to help an election happen so that there could be somebody put in charge who could do a good job, and then normal justice could prevail, which would probably involve some sort of trial, and then whatever that would decide happens to him would happen. I don't think the 6 of us here, or the 9 of us, it's hard to count how many people are here. It's hard to see everyone.
There's
I don't
9
think
of
we
you.
should get to decide what happens for this town, particularly when we just got here 2 days ago and we're hoping to leave again in another couple.
Well, see, the thing with that is the Burgomaster got rid of the elections. He did away with them and installed himself as a dictator. So
Yeah, I think it was his father.
I think once
who
we get
did
his
away
mark
with
back in, the
elections.
election can start again. But we need someone to take his place so we can.
That's absolutely the plan. As soon as Vargas is gone, immediately instating a election system. I'm only going to stick around in power long enough to try and keep the election system, to basically get it up and running and start it out. And then I'll obviously keep running for Burgomaster. I think I could do a very good job, but if I don't win, I'm not going to force it. The plan is to put it back to put the system back to how it was, rather than it being an inherited title that Vargas's father set up.
So what you're saying then is, if we do this coup and take power, obviously he needs to go, but does that mean then that if we're doing this the right way, do we then leave it to the people to decide his fate and actually hold an election afterwards? Because he's already committed a lot of atrocities. He would be able to stand for some things for sure.
I guess we could.
Any of the public beatings and other things. I look at Tifla now. Does that sound a bit more, is that what you sort of were hoping to envision, I guess? At least along those lines.
Yeah, I just don't think that we should make the decision for the town. We haven't lived through his reign of terror. The people of the town have. They should have the ownership of what a punishment should be.
Can I add to that slightly? If we do that, which honestly it had actually even occurred to me, and it's not half a bad idea, Tifla, I'll give you that one. The idea of a genuine trial, who would have thought it? But if we do that, we need to be careful of who exactly is on what are they called, the thing with all the people that stand up and vote on whether we kill him or not.
No, we don't.
Well, we do to an extent, in that a lot of the guards and whatnot still want him around, and I think if it's going to be fair, it does need to be fair somehow. And I don't know
that's assuming that all the guards want him around. 70% of them are just probably terrified of him.
Well, sure,
But if the town predominantly wants him around, then that's what the town.
The town does not predominantly want him around. The guards are happy with him because he pays them more than they used to get under the old system, but and he basically lets the take things unchecked. So I think we can change this. I think that opinion.
So what you're saying then is, if we do get rid of him, and the guards are obviously they're pretty well off at the moment, we need to give them some incentive then to keep them on our side.
I think it wouldn't take much. I think if we can keep them paying at the same amount they're currently being paid for at least the first 6 months, and then maybe look at reviewing their pay after that, getting rid of some of the bandits he's outright hired, because I hear that some of them are just actual bandits that he hired, brought in as guards. We can weed out them, and yeah, I'm perfectly happy to just leave it up for all the citizens. So no one in any position of authority, just the regular citizens are the ones who get a vote. So the priest is out. Let's say Blinsky's out, he doesn't get a vote, no guards, it's just the people who reside within the town. And they're the ones who vote on his fate. I'm okay with that, and I don't get a vote either.
Once we're gone, like Tifla's saying, we're only here for a few more days and we move on.
Yeah.
The people here have to live with this, and they're the ones that have to decide their own fate, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I like this idea. I'm well and truly on board.
Yeah, I could get behind that. It didn't even occur to me, but it's not a half bad idea.
Done.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's time we head out and complete our various missions. Do you want to meet back here before the festival kicks off in the evening?
Journal?
Yes.
One comment was actually Owen out of game. So I rolled a d15 to figure out. So when I pulled out my wings and then flew away, you made a comment of he has particularly unusually strong grip. I rolled to see would I remember if that was the case.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So does that strike me as anything a bit?
He just had
unusual?
just very strong grip, stronger than you were expecting from a man who's spent his entire life as a minor lord of a town. Yeah, as he gripped your hand in handshake. Yeah, very strong grip.
Sure.
Was it strong in that sort of manic, crazy person strength that some people have, or strong in that, like, actually works out in the basement every evening sort of strength?
Yeah, hard to tell. One of them fits very closely with the character that you've experienced so far.
It's the working out, isn't it?
I'll leave it up to you guys.
Bro.
I will say, guys, here
gotta get some sick reps in before I torture this person for not smiling. Yes, sorry, Joe, carry on.
Look, guys, I do want to say that this man may be a bit. He might be able to pack a bit of a punch. So just careful when you're standing around him. I think he's more than what he shows.
To add to that as well, knowing his son and what he's gotten up to, who knows what the father's gotten up to in his own private time, and what he has access to.
Look, if the son's willing to disintegrate someone to get away from him, then he must be pretty shit.
I had a thought. Tifla, open that book again. Where's that page I ripped out?
Here, and she just holds the page.
Yeah. Where's that bit about the flowers?
It's on this page.
No, I know. You can't understand it. Look at your writing, love. No one can read that shit.
I'm trying to read it. Give me a minute. I'm trying to read what it says. Here, the solar lily.
Yeah, that's a sort of poison, isn't it?
So I'm not sure why you've written down the solar lily, because that definitely wasn't the flower. It was valerian root that made the tea that made you sleepy.
What I've got written down. That's
exactly
what I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly.
Solar lily, 100%.
So does that grow? What if all I'm thinking, right, is if this bloke is strong and going to be a problem, then we put him to sleep. We don't put him all the way to sleep, but we just get him super drowsy.
So, I actually have it in my notes, valerian root, so I'm going to counter that. I think you're mistaken. I don't know what solar lily is, but I think it was valerian root, actually. I actually have
notes. Solar lily. I think Tisla's right. I have solar lily drowsy tea leaf right here.
What?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So what's that?
Look, Tom,
my notes say valerian
Tom has
root,
the biggest shit-eating grin I've ever seen.
It's actually true.
Or did you eat shit, or did you actually have
eating shit?
Great.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Solar Lily.
So if we collect a bunch of those solar lilies and we make drink it.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I need to come back a step. What's Solar Lily then?
Well, it's that shit that puts the people to sleep. You just wrote it down. What the fuck?
No,
you talking about?
I know, but others in the group don't know how to write properly and have written down the wrong thing clearly. So
I mean, I'm just gonna say that for those of you who actually do know your rough herbology, valerian root is a genuine sedative, not just in D&D, it is in our world.
It tastes and smells appalling.
It's so bad.
It's like old feet. It's bad.
But like if you were able to extract it, obviously the flavor and scent isn't going to be as much of a problem. But for those of you, I'm going to say for Theodore and for Luther, you're both like 1,000,000% confident that it's the valerian root that was the sedative. The solar lily, you think that might have been possibly the sigil that Rill had on his shields.
So close.
that tracks.
On account of it being a symbol of the sun, the solar lily.
Well, how about this? I look at those two. How about you guys have got important things like Grinner. I'll catch up with you. I'll quickly gather some solar lily for us. And I sort of,
Yeah, all right.
Hey, do you want me to show you what it looks like?
Sure, go on.
Do you know what it looks like?
No.
Comes out of valerian root.
Are you drawing really quickly, Jacob?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, I thought
I
for a second you
remember
were
this
like
too.
drawing a picture as Tithla to hold up. I got really excited. I was like,
So, and this makes sense too, because from what I remember, me and Theodore were the ones that actually found out what it was, because I was the one that saw him take it.
You're
and
the
then
two who
Theodore's
went to the
one that
garden.
discovered-
Yeah.
I did
And he's the one that
nature check on
discovered
it to
what the
work out
tea
what it
was.
Yeah.
Jonah never left the church. Like,
I'm gonna go back and rewatch the episode and see what was going on. Okay.
Just look the views up, don't you, Owen?
There's all the elaborate scheme to drive views.
and you too can head back and watch all past episodes. YouTube/the Lost Archives D&D. Oh my
All
goodness.
right. Well, anyway.
Well, if the festival only starts tonight, we'll only need the wolf distraction then, correct? So I could probably go see the Valakovich boy. If Jonah's going to the Wachter boy.
Yeah, absolutely. I wondered if maybe you could like get some of the guards out hunting for the wolf around the place before the evening, but you could definitely head to Victor first and then,
I'll
do that. You
kick
could do
it up
both.
in the afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do both. Absolutely.
Theodore, did you want... Who was heading with you? Oh, it was you and Killian, correct? You two were going to be traveling.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
if you wanted to meet up with me before you head out, I will also come and join you. I only have tasks for the morning. I can help Killian. I can help you with calling out alarm for the wolf and maybe helping to convince the guards to go and chase down Theo and hopefully run a distraction to help get Theo out of trouble afterwards if you need. I can assist with that. Let me help.
I was gonna say, what is Mark doing? Like, oh wait, staging the coup, right?
Yeah. Staging a coup.
Yeah, no, good
Yes.
plan.
Sounds good. I would be very appreciative of the help. Thank you.
Of course. Well, I think then, Ismark, was there anything else?
No, I think that just about covers everything. If you're all ready to head out, I think we'll do so. We'll meet back here, roughly 6th bell, maybe 5th bell, and make sure that we're ready in the marketplace in the town square.
All right.
I'm off to go meet with Arasek, see if I can get him on side. Any advice? You guys have hung out with Arasek a few times. You've spoken with him. What anything I need to know?
Probably no solar lilies. It might make him a bit sleepy.
Is that Arasek's the guy who runs the general store, right?
Gunther Arasek, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a look reasonable man, but he's driven mostly by profits and his own business rather than any sense of altruism.
Yeah,
If we
it's back, he'll scratch your sort of situation.
So
If we
you
give
can
him more
convince that
incentive.
you'll be good for business, then I'm sure he'll be on side. But I don't think he'll offer any support
strongly either way until he knows which way the dice fall, so to speak.
Yeah, sure. I'm guessing having a madman in charge of the town is probably not good for business, so hopefully that's
Probably
enough
not.
of a... That
You
I'll offer
definitely
him
need
some
to appeal.
tax
You
cuts or
definitely
something.
need to appeal. You definitely need to appeal to his business side. He's financially driven, like everyone else has said.
Mate.
So, go on. Sorry, Tiffler.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, and maybe don't offer to help carry his wine in.
Yeah, not unless you can hold it all.
Yeah.
And don't offer him dogs that turn into cats.
Probably don't offer him anything.
Unless it's
think
money.
about
He does like money.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
I'm just imagining Ismark saying all of this in order as you say it to Gunther. Gunther going, what the fuck are you talking about? What is this that you are saying? I don't understand. First you offer me tax cuts, then you tell me a madman can't be in charge, then you tell me I can't offer you anything, then you offer me a cat that is not a dog but is also a cat but is a dog. What is going on? You're just confusing me.
We said not that stuff. I don't understand.
Truly, after all our descriptions, we've essentially described Mr. Krabs.
Yeah. SpongeBob!
SpongeBob, me boy!
SpongeBob, me boy! Oh my god. Maybe I should have done that voice for Gunther Arasek rather than Gunther Steiner from Haas F1 team. It's, anytime there's a man called Gunther, it's got to be Gunther's voice from Formula One. All right, well, perfect. Well, it sounds like you all have a good plan. I'll meet with you at the 5th bell.
Perfect. As everyone starts dispersing, I've been looking at my notes. As everyone starts dispersing, I will quickly grab Killian.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
So, Killian, I know you've been around these in Barovia a lot longer than us. We were originally sent here actually to find some missing adventurers, and I'm wondering if you have any potential evidence about their whereabouts, maybe if they ever came this way. So I literally, Owen, I ask him about if he's seen a female half-elf wizard, a male dragonborn fighter, and a female Maloran orc barbarian.
So, I've just
This is going
realized,
way back when.
Yeah. No.
yeah.
When you say Maloran orc, that's going to mean absolutely nothing to Killian because he is not from
That's
Lustai.
fine.
He's not from the homebrew world. So when you go, oh yeah, so a Maloran orc, you're like, oh what now?
Well, for the moment, yeah.
An orc?
So wait, does he actually know what an orc? He knows what an orc is, though, right?
He knows what an orc is.
I know what an orc is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Maloran. I guess okay, we're obviously not from the same plane. So definitely, it's basically like an average orc that you probably have experience with. Just from our world, it's a particular sort of subsect. So this is what we've been searching for, and I'm just wondering if you have potentially any info on them.
As you think back, Killian, could you please make me a history check? See if you've encountered any of these individuals before.
I'll also say their names as well. Polius Valentia and Fenric Sagespark and Honorash Sea Spray.
You were really consistent with those history rolls.
Yeah.
It's 14
Killian, the Red Dragonborn. Yes, you did interact with a Red Dragonborn mage or wizard. You're not sure which. In the town of Vallaki, probably within the first month of you arriving, when you still had most of your party with you. There was a Dragonborn mage who had been traveling through. You didn't spend any real time with him. He was in the tavern at the Blue Water Inn, buying drinks from the Martikovs, but I mean, didn't really say too much to him, rather than a quick hello. Recognized him as a Dragonborn, as an Outlander. That's a good question, actually. Would Killian have approached him and sort of asked any questions? I've just realized that knowing that Dragonborn are very rare in Barovia, pretty much exclusively having been brought through the mists, would Killian have asked anything of him?
Definitely would have gone up to him and spoke to him. As you said, coming from Killian's from the Sword Coast as well, so has seen a lot of Dragonborn. And
Killian,
I'm very intrigued.
I'm going to throw us back in time then. We're going to roleplay that interaction because I think that could be very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it could be very interesting. You might learn some things. Let's do it. This could be really interesting.
It's worth looking at notes.
It is worth looking at notes. As Killian, as you approach the bar, your other companions sitting down, grabbing a drink. As you head up to get yourself another drink, sitting at the bar, is a... Are you showing us your notes, Jacob?
Yeah, Solar Lily.
Okay. As you head up to the bar, Killian, you see a red dragonborn, quite lithe with very bright red scales, sitting drinking from a large flagon. He seems to be dressed in padded robes that lie atop one another. Almost very unusual garb, very different to what you've seen Dragonborn wear on the Sword Coast. These seem to be far more desert-designed clothing, like layered cloth that's been padded and then marked with these arcane sigils. The colors are these beautiful swirls of midnight blue, light violet, and indigo. And as you approach and sort of signal to the Martikov bartender who pours you a drink, the Dragonborn who looks over at you, you can see has only one eye. The other, his right eye, is scarred with a large scar cutting through the upper lid and down onto his cheek. As he turns towards you so he can see you with his good eye, gives you a nod. Hello there.
Oh, hello there. I've not seen a Dragonborn in Barovia. I don't recognize the garb that you're wearing. Whereabouts are you from, friend?
Chiari from the... He sort of looks at your face, waiting for signs of recognition. When he sees none, sort of like droops out a bit and goes, Nostea. No, it's fine. None have recognized the name so far. From what I can tell, people from many different worlds are brought here. Guessing my world is not the same as yours.
No, I'm from a city called Neverwinter. So
sounds lovely. Sounds like the perfect place to be. Neverwinter. I'm a fan of the heat myself, so.
Oh, well, I mean, it is good. What are you? Are you here alone? Are you with anybody? I have a group of traveling companions, and I gesture with my left hand, which I have.
You still have at this point. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I have some companions. They're just out gathering supplies. I felt I needed a quick drink. It's been a rough few days, traveling through the mists and the lands around.
It is not fun. This is our second time in this particular town. Have you been here long?
No.
In Barovia, I mean.
No, only been here for a few days. Traveled through the mists. We were exploring a house, this manor house, towards the north of one of our major cities. Reports of it having great treasure, but unfortunately, when we entered, it was weird, disturbingly haunted. Some sort of malfunctioning portal, and we were pulled through, and we attempted to leave. Brought here.
I've heard stories like that before. My incident was more walking through the woods. There was a large caravan of us, my party, and then other travelers, and these mists began coming in, and people started to get picked off and disappeared. We found a couple of bodies as we tried to get through the mist, but it seemed to lead us in a direction, and then we came just outside these city gates.
That sounds horrifying.
It was, yes. The mists are no joke.
No, we've lost one of our number to a creature in the mists, a wraith of some sorts. He sort of goes quite quiet for a moment, raises his drink as if in a silent toast, takes a long draught. Well, Fenric holds out a clawed hand to shake your hand.
I'll shake it with my left hand.
Yeah.
Gillian.
Lovely to meet you.
Where is it you are headed? Thank you. Where are you headed next? Maybe my companions and I are heading in the same direction.
We've heard there's an abbot far to the north of where we are now. We thought we'd head there. One of our number has sustained an injury, a damaged leg. They're not able to walk very fast. We're hoping this abbot might be able to heal them. We'd heard tales that he was a particularly powerful healer, so we're headed there next.
Injured leg sounds like it would take a very long time to heal. I hope that you are able to get your friend there and they have a swift recovery.
Thank you. It's very nice of you to say. Thank you. I hope your companions have an easy journey as well, as easy as it can be in these accursed lands. Where are you headed next?
We are heading over to Lake Azarovich, just around to the west side of it. Sorry, I had to quickly do compass markings in my head.
Indeed.
We've heard tales of we've heard stories of a group of people there, tribes people who are savaging the land. So we have been asked to go or we've offered, should I say, to go and look into it a bit further. So
that's very brave of you. I wish you all a speedy trip and fair fortune on your journey.
Thank you very much. May Kelemvor bless, and you can see for everybody that I'm in full plate mail armor with symbols of Kelemvor all over it. I'm not wearing anything that you would see in present timeline. I'm a full-blown cleric at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I've not heard of this god Kelemvor, I'm sorry to say, but I accept Kelemvor's blessing in the nature and the gift in which it was given, and thank you. I thank you.
That's fine, and I'm going to just grab the tray of drinks that I've ordered, and I'm going to walk over to the group, back over to my tray. I'm going to turn and order one more drink for my new Dragonborn friend here. Yeah. Safe journeys, friend.
Thank you. To you too.
Gives you a nod, a smile, finishes his drink, gratefully takes the other, drinks it quite quickly, gives your group a final nod and a wave, and then just before he's about to leave, he pauses, reaches into his spellcasting pouch and pulls out a small ruby, which he walks over to your group, places on the table. We found this in the house. I have a number that I've collected. I'm hoping that I might be one day able to use them to create a teleportation circle out of here. These are from my world. If such a thing were to come in handy for you, I would be most pleased. If you are able to make sense of the magic that keeps us trapped here, I would hope that this is some assistance to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this. Finding a way out of here is one of the goals that we have, but I thank you for your assistance with this.
Once you're finished at the lake, if you happen to be back here in Valaki, happen to be back here in Valaki,
DM fault.
If you happen to be back here in Valaki and my companions and I have returned from getting our companion healed with the abbot, I wouldn't mind if we had a chat about this count.
Indeed. Definitely. I will see you soon.
And you never saw him again.
Man, you guys, what happened?
I tell this story to Luther while holding the ruby. I pulled the ruby out as I've told the story, and the final thing I'll say to Luther is, and that is one of the reasons why I came back here, was to see if he had returned, and that I'd heard tale of a gentleman matching Grinner's description. So I'd hoped that they may have been together, but unfortunately not. But it sounds like you know this person.
Don't know them per se, but we were sent to investigate their disappearance, and we found ourselves in the same predicament that they fell into. It's good to know that their number is still alive. We actually have business in Kresk. I think that's what it's called, Owen.
Kresk, yeah.
That's where the abbot is. So, Killian, thank you very much for that information. That will help us greatly with this endeavor. But hopefully, if you ever want to talk about anything that's went down, it sounds like you were a priest once of Kelemvor. So
actually, that's a good question. Like, how much of your own physical description would you have given?
Did you actually tell me that? That's a good point.
Because it's not a natural thing to do to be like, well, at that time I was wearing full plate mail and looking like a fucking badass.
That's looking like, yes. No, that was more like an audience perspective. But I would say that I've probably, on top of having the ruby in my hand, I've probably pulled out a very blood-stained symbol to Kalimvor, and it's in my hand as well. So you could definitely tell that it's some sort of priest
That's all
symbol.
right. I won't. I'll take back what I said because that's obviously very like a bit more meta, knowing what you've like the story. That seems more of a touchy subject. I probably won't. I don't want to be rude, and I won't press that because that seems like it might be a touchy thing. But no, perfect. Killian, thank you so much for that. Like I said, that information that'd be very worthwhile.
And Ruby as well will serve us very well, I suspect. We might have a way out with the part of teleportation circle. You've got the goods. We've got possibly the spell. We're halfway there.
Yes, if we could all meet up again and all escape, that would be very good. From what my friend had said, from what our friend I should say had said, he had multiple of these, so hopefully he'll have enough to get everybody out.
That would be good. I mean, we already have part of a teleportation circle with the Victor's disintegration circle.
Teleported to a different place.
So perhaps we don't murder Victor just yet.
And
I'm sorry, what?
We've talked about murdering him many times. Remember, he was the victim.
Exactly.
So, what? Killian, have you actually been to Kresk?
I have not. No. My party and I, we travelled to the western side of Lake Zarovich, and that is where I lost contact with them and my hand, and that's where everything changed for me.
Well, in our travels, we'll because we're going that way, we'll keep an eye out for your companions, and hopefully when we sort of, we're able to sort of meet again, maybe we'll have some good news for you. That will save you at least searching in that part of the land.
Thank you. And if you do happen to find your friend, our mutual acquaintance, please tell him that I send my regards.
I shall. Perfect. I definitely want to ask. There's like a curiosity now. Like, I want to find out about his hand. I want to find out about the blood stain. But it feels it would be rude to sort of press that.
But we just got to wait for him to die, and then we'll just do speak with Dead.
Yeah, talk to Dead. Yeah. We just won't let this guest character get away from us this time.
Oh god. Well, I think that is a really good place to wrap up for tonight, and then come back next session, split the party 3 ways. I'm sure that'll end well, and have you each complete your individual missions.
It's a bloodless coup. It'll all go fine.
Oh yeah. We actually have a fairly good plan. Like, this is unusual.
What could go wrong?
Everything.
Well, you've jinxed it now. Well, I think that is a really good place to wrap up for tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you again, special guest Josh, for coming and joining our Curse of Strahd campaign from Roll Together RPG. It's been awesome having you on. Super keen to have you for next week as well, if you're still keen to hang out with us.
Oh yes, definitely. This is great fun. Thank you.
Well,
We've made a plan. We now have to execute the plan, wait for the plan to go off the rails, and then throw away the plan.
Yes.
And then execute somebody.
That's our plan.
And then execute Order 66. That's how it normally goes down. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. It has been wonderful having you along for our Curse of Strahd campaign. Unfortunately, this is the only D&D/RPG this week. There will be no Avatar Legends tomorrow night and no Return of the Giants on Wednesday night. Unfortunately, I am away and unable to host those sessions. But we will be back again next week with our 3 campaigns. Curse of Strahd on Monday, Avatar The Last Airbender, Avatar Legends on Tuesday, and Return of the Giants on Wednesday.
So, yeah. I guess if Bruin, if you're listening, your monster won't be appearing this Wednesday.
Yes,
probably next week.
I'll message Bruin. We had a community channel point spend for a summon monsters for Return of the Giants. Didn't get a chance to do it last session, and we won't be doing a session this week, so we definitely will be doing it next session. He sent me the encounter. It's very funny. I'm looking forward to doing it. It's fantastic. Jared's really good at not metagaming. I'm happy to share it here for you guys listening. It's a bunch of drunken dwarves who mistake the party for some people who owe them money, which is going to be a lot of fun.
You know what? That's great because now like I'm the only one who's going to know it. So I'm going to be sitting there waiting for everyone else's reactions to just
hey, some fucker owes us money. Looks a lot like you, shites. As you guys walk up, because all dwarves are Scottish. We know that. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a lovely night. We will see you all again next time. But until then, stay safe, stay well, and have a lovely time. Goodbye.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.